and you fill up my mind. I wanna stay close to you. It's that old number spell that you weave oh so well. Oh, it's a holding me. Oh, you got to see. I just want to hang around you every day and night, all of my life around you. I just want to hang around you every day and night, all of my life around you. Hang around you. I get so hypnotized when I look in your eyes. Oh, you control me. I feel all butterflies when I'm right here by your side. Oh, I need your touch, can't get enough. Love me. Oh, you've got to see. I just want to hang around you every day and night, all of my life around you. Hang around you. Spending every moment of my life within your gaze, my forever love. To have you and to hold you, so you'll never ever need to use your crystal ball to know I'll be always. I just want to hang around you every day and night, all of my life around you. Hang around you. All I want to do is hang around you. I just want to hang around you every day and night, all of my life around you. Hang around you. All I want to do is hang around you. I just want to hang around you every day and night, all of my life around you. Hey, what's up, everybody? I hope you guys enjoyed that song. That was George Benson. All I want to do is hang around you. Old school song. So we're going to talk today about the CBP. That was an app that was allowing these illegals to have appointments, and Donald J. Trump, my president, has executive orders to cancel the CBP. We're going to talk about all the other executive orders that he also signed on today, and any other update that I can think on. Maybe you can look at one of his latest speeches to go through what happened yesterday. Anyways, I hope that you guys will do me a favor by liking the video. Please share, subscribe, all the above so that you can get this information. This is going to be for fair use of all videos that I show under the 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. I hope that you guys would know that this is for educational purposes. This is for commentary purposes. This is for also research, observation, all the above, not meaning to impose, but to inform. I hope that you guys would do me a favor by hitting that like button. So what I want to do now is showcase first what the CBP is. Let me find that first video, because that is like the major news clip that's going around. And also I'm going to do an update about the fires because that's still going on as well. Let's take a listen to this video. Please hit the like button and let's go.
An immigration crackdown was, of course, President Trump's signature campaign promise. Shortly after he was sworn in, his administration took the CBP One smartphone app offline.
The app basically facilitated the legal entry of migrants, allowing them to schedule appointments at ports of entry. Hundreds of thousands of existing appointments are now canceled. NBC7 Shelby Bremer is joining us now on the border in Otay Mesa with all of this means. Shelby.
Yeah, Mark, for weeks we've been hearing about potential executive orders on immigration, deportation raids, and as of this hour, those have not materialized yet. But that CBP One app was taken down almost instantly. That does, of course, cut down on legal immigration, but the fact that it was taken down so quickly sends a message, and it also sets the tone for the next 4 years.
That system, the application, the cell phone admission for migrants that allowed over 1 million migrants to enter the United States is now gone. If you want to gain admission to the United States, asking for asylum, you must do so legally, lawfully, at a port of entry.
Immigration attorney Esther Clayton says the Trump administration's removal of the Biden-era CBP One app is one of many layers that signal it's a new day in Washington. White House officials say executive orders on immigration are coming, declaring a national emergency at the border to deploy the military, suspending refugee resettlement, and designating cartels as terrorist organizations. One big one, ending catch and release. That's when migrants applying for asylum are released from ICE detention with a court date to begin their immigration process. Another, reinstating Remain in Mexico, requiring anyone applying for asylum to stay in Mexico as they navigate the system. While specifics of all of these orders are not yet clear, their aim is drastically reducing immigration into the U.S. We spoke with activists gathering at Balboa Park for a demonstration as they gear up for the next 4 years. They say they're worried that the administration's attempts to deter people from coming to the U.S. won't stop them, but it will make the journey more dangerous.
The people will try to cross anyway. You know, even they may hide the border.
Yes, because these people think that they are entitled. It's very weird what Biden has created, a monster within these people to believe that they have just as much rights as American people do to make attempts to come into our borders illegally. And they should understand the memo. Trump's not playing with these people. He's not playing about the birthright citizenship ending. I know that people are going to try to battle against him on that. But there's a whole lot of things that he signed to try to squash that from them feeling entitled or whatever like that, because they have been just taking it upon themselves just to be rudely and bluntly coming through the border. And hopefully this is going to be the end of that activity, because it's not a good thing for any sovereign country to allow these types of things to have happen. And Trump is trying to be the leader. He's trying to show a real alpha male energy, and he's doing what a real leader is supposed to do: protect his citizens and the nation, the America. He's trying to protect America. These people that are coming over here unvetted, don't even know what they're into, don't know what their intentions are. They can say whatever they want to say. We don't know. All these hundreds of thousands of people, they need to go back home. And I don't feel sorry for these people crying and whining about, not being able to have their CBP, because they knew 2 months prior to that Trump was coming, and they took a risk in hopes of still getting over anyways. So I don't feel bad. And I'm kind of happy that he did it the way he did it, like day one.
The wall, people will try to come back with their family. And when they are trying to get a better life for their loved ones, they will try harder,
Just within the last hour, we've learned that the ACLU did file a lawsuit over the removal of the CBP-1 app, and that's really in line with what we've heard from a lot of attorneys and immigrant advocacy organizations over the past few weeks, that really here on all of these orders, all roads lead to litigation. We'll have much more on all of this coming up at 5 and 6, but for now, live in Otay Mesa, Shelby Bremer, NBC7.
Yeah, Shelby, a lot to sort out, but hurdles does the president face when it comes to this immigration crackdown?
Yeah, Nichelle, there are a lot of hurdles here. And what's really interesting from the previews that we've heard from White House officials is that we didn't really hear a lot about those deportation raids, that mass deportation promise. But that could be in part because ICE and DHS already have that authority. But what's really interesting, too, is that the hurdle has always been resources and funding. ICE has about 41,000 beds in their 106 detention facilities. But in order to deport hundreds of thousands of people, they're going to need a lot more staff and a lot more space. The Borders czar Tom Homan did say that he put the price tag at about $86 billion to carry out that mass deportation effort, but the American Immigration Council put it at more than $300 billion. So, there's a lot of funding there that'll have to come through Congress, so it'll be really interesting to watch.
Yeah. All right, Shelby, thank you.
Now, do you guys in the chat room, in the clouds, feel any sympathy for the people knowing that they knew a couple of months in November that this was coming? Because they've been forewarned. They were forewarned all along. So I don't feel bad at all, because they took a risk, they gambled, they lost. And now I want to show some of this, President Donald Trump's inauguration live. He had a set of executive orders that he signed in front of people at a crowd. I don't know if this is the right video yet. Hold on, let me make sure. Oh yeah, it is. First, he's going to give a speech. Let's listen a little bit to the speech before I fast forward it to him signing these executive orders. I didn't watch this yesterday, but he did a lot of different speeches, and he had a lot of different events yesterday. So let's take a listen to this.
Appreciate it. Thank you. So now the work begins. We won, but now the work begins. We have to bring them home. And tonight I'm going to be signing on the J6 hostages, pardons, to get them out. And as soon as I leave, I'm going to the Oval Office and we'll be signing pardons for a lot of people, And thank you to Steve Witkoff. He's a great guy. He's a friend of mine. He's been a very successful man. He's a great negotiator. He's a wonderful guy. People love him. And he's got a tremendous power of persuasion. And that's what we need. We don't need stiffs. We got a lot of stiffs. You just had a load of them. And to the former hostages with us today, welcome. Welcome home. Some of the folks are former hostages. Not a good situation. The three young ladies that came home yesterday, you saw that. They're more coming home every day now. They're coming home. But they were hurt. One had her head blown off. Fingers on her hand, and her hand indeed was blown off. She was trying to defend herself from a bullet being fired. You believe this? A bullet knocked off her hand. I don't know. You look at it, it's a disgrace. We never stopped praying for you, and we're so glad that you're reunited with your friends and families, and God bless you all. And some of them are just saying, no, my son is gone, but please just bring home his body, right, Steve? Many of you have told me that your son is gone, but bring home his body. It should have never happened. 3 years, it's ridiculous. Should have never happened. Wouldn't have happened. I also want to express my tremendous gratitude to the hundreds of thousands of proud American patriots who came from all across the country to join us in this celebration. It's a celebration of a big win. And you're witnessing the dawn of the golden age of America. That's what it's going to be. We're bringing it back. We're going to bring it back fast. We're going to bring it back fast. Let us also thank the incredible service members, National Guardsmen, Police, Secret Service, and law enforcement personnel who are keeping us all safe, even though they are great people. New York's finest. I grew up with New York's finest, and we got to give them their authority back. You won't have any crime. There'll be no crime. You give them little authority back. The whole way they run things in this country now, it's disgraceful. But it's going to change rapidly. We're going to make our cities safe again, too. Even though we're indoors, we've had a magnificent inaugural parade. And let's give a big round of applause. They were great. To all of the incredible performers and hardworking men and women who made it possible. Those people, really talented, amazing people. I also want to thank my wonderful family for being here, especially my beautiful wife, our First Lady, Melania.
That outfit was sharp right there, y'all. She was not playing with that outfit on. Then I was like really tailored to her. And I like the color too. Shout out to Melania, the First Lady.
They love our First Lady. And also JD. How good has JD been? And his beautiful wife, Usha. How good is JB? JD has been great. He's another good negotiator.
I'm going to fast forward a little bit because I know you guys don't want to hear all that. Let me get to the good part. Hold on. I want to get to when he signed the executive orders. Okay, here we go.
You have that other one to sign? We have the other one to sign. We don't have to overdo that, so we'll have to put it back together. The first is the rescissions of 70.
This is the first time that we've ever seen a president sign in front of his supporters like this, I think. If somebody let me know if Obama did this or not, I don't think he did. But this is the first time I ever seen him sign in front of his supporters. That's something else.
Biden-era EOs and presidential memoranda. You want to say? Oh, if you want me to say? Why don't you say what I'm signing?
The first item that President Trump is signing is the rescission of 78 Biden-era executive actions, executive orders, presidential memoranda, and others. Thank you, sir. The second item, President Trump, is a regulatory freeze, as you announced in your speech, preventing bureaucrats from issuing any more regulations until we have full control of this, the government and this administration. is a freeze on all federal hiring, excepting the military and a number of other excluded categories, again, until full control of the government is achieved and we understand the objectives of government going forward.
Could you imagine Biden doing this? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Sir, the next item, as you announced in your speech, is a requirement that federal workers return to full-time in-person work immediately. Thank you, sir. Next, we have a directive to every department and agency in the federal government to address the cost of living crisis that has cost Americans so dearly. Thank you, sir. The next item here is the withdrawal from the Paris Climate Treaty. Yes, sir. We're going to save over $1 trillion by withdrawing from that treaty.
That's right. $1 trillion. That's all he has to do is just pull back from helping out other countries. And I heard that he also is retracting, taking or spending money or giving out grants to African and Caribbean countries as well. A lot of people on YouTube are crying about that as well. But we need to take care of home finally. Finally, we have a president that recognizes the importance of taking care of home first. So this is very significant.
And the next item, sir, is a letter that will be transmitted to the United Nations explaining that we are withdrawing from the Paris Climate Treaty.
That's right. Woo!
Thank you, sir. This next item is a directive to the federal government ordering the restoration of freedom of speech and preventing government censorship of free speech going forward. And lastly, sir, before we go back to the Oval Office to sign a large number of other items, is a directive to the federal government ending the weaponization of government against the political adversaries of the previous administration, as we've seen. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.
And now he's throwing away the pens to the audience for them to get the pens. Wow. There you go. Just like that, we got pride back, you guys, in our country. Let me see what you guys are saying. I feel very prideful right now. That's what we need to have in office to bring back spirit, to bring back the morale, to bring back our passion about our country again. It's been so lost for so long. I really didn't feel prideful as an American with Biden in that office. And I'm so glad he is gone. I hope to goodness we don't hear nothing else from that man. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. I hope that you guys will support by hitting the like button. Please do not delay in hitting the like button. It is for free. The 3 dots at the right-hand corner, you can hit and it will thumbs up the video, or you can double tap the screen. That also would also hit the like button for me. It will help with the algorithm. And this is our channel. This is our channel to reflect and to showcase what Trump's up to. I intend to, is every time I go live, to designate at least an hour and a half or about an hour, either or, on what Trump's doing for the day or what he just did for the day before, you know, because he's been quite busy and I haven't been able to do everything up until now. You said, let's not forget the Gulf of America, Michael says. Woot. We'll see about that Gulf of America. I don't know if he's going to be able to pull that off, but if he can, hey. Keith says, thanks. Thank you for that. Yes, let's not forget the Gulf of Mexico, or Mexico, Lord, Gulf of America. Yes, Lewis, it's gonna be, I don't know how easy that's gonna be able to pull off, but if anyone could, it should be him. That's for sure. You said Keith Burns, the app the immigrants were using to get a SSI number, and work permit. Oh, that's what it was for? And will they block that? Americans, what have you done? Sabbath says, Sabbath Matt Saja, what have we done? We're taking care of business. That's what we're doing. Please hit the like button. And yes, we built America. Laura Makes a Way says, Americans, what have you done? You don't just keep saying that? Sabbath, we regain our dignity. That's what. Exactly. Don't y'all feel relieved? Don't y'all feel at peace? Don't you feel pride again pumping through your veins? Don't you feel more than you ever felt in a long time? Yes, 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 finally. God is great. He is. How many times am I going to replay the clip? I didn't play that clip before. Let me see. Where else was I? David, if it bothers you, go to Kamala. She's live now. Is she? You said I voted for him, but I know we're in end times and I'll be watching him closely. I am going to be watching him closely. What I will say is that I am wishing for the best. I'm hoping for the best. I have faith in what he says he will do. He's going to attempt to do. However, I'm concerned about the Democrats, most of all, getting in his way. I'm worried about all these cases, or, you know, they're going to try to take him to court against what he's doing. All these different cases. I hope that he'll be able to succeed. So we have to just be, you know, prayerful and wishful that he will be successful. Okay. TDS is real from some of those oxygen thieves. I'm not quite sure what TDS is. What is that? And that's how it should be, Anthony says. Stop censorship, Evelyn says. Watching for what? This won't happen overnight. Did you vote for Biden in 2020? Okay. Goddess, he said Nazis, Michael says. Ray says he spammed it, not just said it. Okay. Angelique says, what is CBS? That is the app. It's called CBP. I just showed the video. It was an app that people use to get appointments. The aliens, the illegals, used to go and get those appointments to try to get in to the border and get appointments to get SSI. numbers, I guess somebody said in the chat room. They disallowed their access to those apps anymore once Trump became president. So that's not going to happen no more. He banned and barred that from being. Pinky says, so you will be able to tell your grandchildren Nazis saved your ass if you live in America. If not, you can say Americans saved the world. If America fails, so will the world. That's deep, Pinky. You might be true, because everything is surrounding Americans. Everybody has all eyes on America. Like whatever happens here, everybody's going to follow our lead, whether it's good or bad. So we have to be very careful. And I hope Trump really considers everything that he does. But I have faith that he's considering everything. I really do. So I said, yes, you are, Michael says. Customs and Border Protections, Ethan says. Lewis says, Trump is the best. It's good to be American. Exactly. Let's party, Lewis says. Angelique says, thank you. African Goddess, thank you for coming through. You said Nazi because of border control. Nah, that's not a Nazi for having border control. That is having someone that cares about their country and what is happening in and around our sovereignty. We don't want to have it, invaded, an invasion continuing. That's what it has been, is an invasion for the last 4 years. It's been ridiculous, y'all. What's all the black people? Where's all the black people? I'm here. And they're in the chat room, probably in the clouds. We're all here. That's how it's done, Michael says. G, go hard, scrap it, all Dems bow to President Trump. Okay. Yes, the American spirit is strong. It's the golden age. Pride comes before destruction. Stay awake. Okay, I hope that's not the case. We got to pray for that. MAGA, Anthony says. Home vid ED takes one to know one. Okay. Yes, been so long. It's time for a change, I guess you meant to say. May the realm last 1,000 years. Ethan, okay, I wish. For Black, that's half news. What he is saying in terms of African country is no more aid, but he wants to do trade that benefits both sides. Okay. All right. So he wants to do trade. So he's telling the African leaders and the Caribbean leaders to get their trade in order, to know what they have to share or trade with, whatever they have, their resources, that could be fair on both sides. That sounds good. But I think that the grant was for free. Wasn't that free money before African Goddess, when he handed out grants? I think that's free money. Sheila says, keep this man in your prayers. He's our only hope to turn this runaway train around. Exactly. American Gulf of America. You guys keep saying that. 1,000 years and more. Amen. African Goddess says, the aid that has been given to Africa in the past largely bribes, which goes straight into the pockets of corrupt leaders. Yes, I know. That's why he doesn't want to do it no more. Plus, we need money to take care of our own situation. If anybody can, it's Trump, Justin says. I'm glad you have faith. I really like your channel, Evelyn says, and I love seeing all the pro-Americans for Trump in hopes for a better America. Yes, me too, Evelyn. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. For the person who asked where all the black people are, they were more than welcome to buy tickets. Yeah, I mean, a lot of them, he's talking about being in the crowd where he was. There were a couple of them there, but a lot of times we don't like going into I don't know. I don't see a whole lot of, I guess there's still a lot of them that are still butthurt that were Democrats for Kamala. So you can't expect them to switch sides that fast. There's only like 8% women that support Trump and only, or was it men? No, women. And then men, it was about 13% or 11% that supported Trump. So it wasn't big numbers that supported Trump that were black. But hopefully after he does a good job, he will pull more black support. I hope he does. You said he will pull it off. That's for sure. Lewis says it means that it's all part of America. Exactly, Angelique. You people of such sheep believe in everything he says and trying to make it like he's godly. Did you notice he didn't put his hand on the Bible? That's okay if he didn't put his hand. Jeepster. Okay. It's okay if he didn't put his hand on the Bible. It was there though. He still gave his right hand to God, and he still said what he needed to say to do what he's supposed to be doing as a president. So that's all I care about. And I don't believe in everything that he says because he has to show and prove what he says. But the first thing is to say it. The next thing is to act on what you said. So we have to wait. And as you can see, speeding light, he is writing on these executive orders. So he's starting off in the right direction. Yeah, Trump's a showman. He definitely is that. Where are all the blacks in Trump's cabinet? There's one at least. Need to change the name of the Panama Canal to the American Canal. Okay. Yes. Trump is the best. I feel at peace. Thank you. All right. And notice he could say a sentence without looking at his alphabet soup, unlike pee pads and knee pads. What are you talking about? All right. We feel safe again. And I'm from Arabia. My dad is from Dubai. Okay. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming through. It's good to no longer be the footstool of the world. Exactly, Michael. Biden was the old and sick. At least he can rest now. Exactly. He needs to go take a long nap. I'm sure he's going to still wake up one day and still think he's president. Love Trump's scam coin. Oh, okay. I'm not getting involved in none of the coins or cryptocurrency. None of that. I don't believe in none of that. America, USA. Exactly. I think you're in the wrong place. Please don't come back. Oscar. You made Pinky mad. How you doing? I went to the Commander-in-Chief's ball last night and it was great. Oh, you were there? Puri? Powers? Wow. I'm glad to hear that you were there. So you had a good time. Louise says Trump did a lot of great things for Americans. Yes, he did. Atticus says the only thing that brings me peace is the God of Moses is in control and victory is his. Okay. Evelyn says, I believe actions speak volumes, and those actions he's already taken show he's going to make a difference for the better, unlike the prior party in charge. He can't do no worse than that. And yes, the moderators don't play in here, Sheila. Definitely don't play in here. CNN showed you his salute. Go look up pictures on Kamala, Obama, even your prophet Hillary doing the exact thing. May want to go touch some grass today. What? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. All right. Trump's great. Yes, he is. America rules the world. When America goes down, everybody goes down. It does sound like that, doesn't it? Everybody has so much emphasis on what Americans do. That's right. Laura makes a way. Nobody's coming to save us, Sheila says. Why is it okay for all countries in this world to have borders, but not America? Exactly. Ethan, he sure did. I'm an American and my ancestors are also. Exactly. Laura makes a way. For people who aren't citizens who give birth, stop being disingenuous, Ray says. Go hard scrapping, yes, since America paid for the canal, Pinky says. He said he wants to end it for criminal parents, not all. Oh, you're talking about birthright? We're going to talk about that in a minute. In fact, let me talk about that now. Let me talk about also the latest news about the birthright citizenship that has been supposedly stopped. Let me get the next video up for that. Can he really stop the birthright citizenship? A lot of people are really up in arms, many immigrants especially, that have birthright citizenship are up in arms that is not being available for other immigrants moving forward according to what Trump wants to do. And they're going to fight him tooth and nail. So let's look at this real quick.
All right, let's go now to CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson to go over some of the legal details of some of Trump's sweeping immigration executive orders. I want to start with one of Trump's bolder orders, focusing on what we just talked about, ending birthright citizenship. Now, Jessica, is this even legal? How can he do this?
No, I don't think it is. I mean, let's be clear that there's a hierarchy of laws in our country. The Constitution, then pieces of legislation, executive orders that can have the force of law, but you cannot executive order your way out of the Constitution. The Constitution, I believe the vast majority of legal scholars, a vast majority who look at the language of the 14th Amendment and the history behind it. Let's remember that the 14th Amendment put into our Constitution after the Civil War to say to Black people and people who were formerly slaves, if you are born in this country, you are a full citizen, full stop. It does not matter what color you are. It does not matter your previous status as a slave. What matters is that you were born here, you are a full citizen. That has always been our understanding. Small caveat for the children of ambassadors in foreign countries. Now, can you executive order your way out of that understanding? I don't think so. So lots of legal questions when it comes to the other executive orders. For this one, I think we're looking at the necessity of a constitutional amendment.
All right, I want to move on to a couple other those executive orders there, Jessica. Trump also effectively ended a Biden-era border app that gave nearly 1 million people a way to start their immigration process. What can you tell us about that app and what it means for the people who are trying to get an appointment through it? Are those appointments all canceled?
Apparently they are. Reporting indicates that they are. This app was a lottery system, and I understand that hundreds of thousands of people had tried to use it, essentially refreshing daily, hoping that they could get an appointment. These are people seeking legal status and or asylum here in the country. And this was a way for them to get an appointment. Those appointments, the reporting indicates today, have now been canceled. Legally speaking, anytime we see policy or rule, is that something that the next administration can undo by executive order? The answer is typically yes. You just have to make sure they go about it the right way. But to me, it looks like there aren't a lot of legal questions surrounding this. Obviously, huge practical impacts for people.
I want to move on now to Trump's plan for mass deportation, which includes deputizing local law enforcement as essentially immigration officers. What would this enforcement look like? And are local police departments required to comply? What about sanctuary cities? What about those officers? Do they have to comply as well?
So in the Constitution, there's something called the anti-commandeering doctrine, and that acknowledges that states are separate sovereigns. So the federal government cannot still tell states and local governments, carry my water for me. Here's my policy. Now you go implement it. So deputizing local law enforcement means that they will assist in what is typically a federal policy, for instance, immigration. But you cannot, as the law currently stands, say to an unwilling state or city, you will. You can say you can, but to say to California, for instance, to say to the Los Angeles Police Department, now you carry out the federal government's policy, California can say that violates the 10th Amendment, it violates the anti-commandeering policy.
Jessica Levinson, I have a feeling we're going to be talking to you a lot over the next 4 years with all of these executive orders.
Yeah, I wanted to have more information on the birthright citizenship, so hopefully this video would be solely on that.
I was saved by God to make America great again. The golden age of America begins right now.
A historic day for the country as Donald Trump is officially sworn in as the 47th president of the United States. Welcome to the Fox 11 News at 5, simulcast on our sister station Fox 11 Plus. I'm Christine Devine. I'm Marla Tejas.
And I'm Alex Michelson reporting live from Washington tonight on one of the busiest political days in modern history. President Donald Trump still at it late at this hour at the White House right now, signing executive actions as we speak inside the Oval Office, talking about a lot of different things, just banning DEI programs in the federal government. Let's listen in for a second.
Could be, but so not in a very long way. Oh, look at that! It says TikTok. My, what is that all about?
First, we have Alaska, sir. This is an executive order relating to unleashing Alaska's potential as an energy reservoir for the entire nation.
And what about Anwar?
I believe that would be included in the aspects of the order.
We're opening up Anwar.
On the TikTok piece, President Trump, you and your members of your team now used to warn about dangers of TikTok spying on Americans. What changed that you're not worried about that anymore?
Well, it depends on the deal. I mean, I may not do the deal, or I may do the deal. TikTok is worthless. Worthless if I don't approve it. It has to close. I learned that from the people that own it. If I don't do the deal, it's worthless. Worth nothing. If I do the deal, it's worth maybe $1 trillion. $1 trillion. So if I do the deal I'm talking about doing it for the United States. If I do the deal for the United States, then I think we should get half. In other words, I think the U.S. should be entitled to get half of TikTok. And congratulations, TikTok as a good partner.
Wow.
And that would be worth, could be $500 billion or something. It's crazy. The numbers are crazy.
Interesting news there from the president saying that he wants half of TikTok for the United States government, making some news there. This has been a very, very busy day, beginning with that historic inauguration.
So help me God. So help me God. Congratulations, Mr. President.
Donald Trump is back as president.
I, James David Vance, do solemnly swear.
This time with J.D. Vance as his vice president.
The golden age of America begins right now. I was saved by God to make America great again.
With Joe Biden and Kamala Harris sitting in the front row, he slams their leadership.
From this moment on, America's decline is over.
He declares a national emergency at the southern border and a national emergency over energy production.
We will drill, baby, drill.
He vows to reacquire the Panama Canal from Panama.
We're taking it back.
And gets into cultural issues.
It will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
The Trumps escorting the Bidens to their helicopter and waving them goodbye before overturning much of their policies through executive action. Among the orders, send U.S. troops to the border, ending birthright citizenship for kids of illegal immigrants, and ending the CBP-1 program. Online, it shows it's already shut down. The crowd here going crazy for Donald Trump on the day that he becomes the 47th president of the United States. This parade was initially scheduled for outside. Trump moved it inside due to cold weather outside, and it's heating up here inside. Law enforcement well represented inside the Capital One Center in a pageantry of patriotism. They celebrate families of Israeli hostages.
So now the work begins. We won, but now the work begins. We have to bring them home.
He signs a series of executive orders in front of a grateful crowd.
Could you imagine Biden doing this? I don't think so.
He then throws pens into the crowd like souvenirs. There was just tremendous excitement there, and we continue to watch Trump in the Oval Office. Let's listen in again.
Does Biden ever do news conferences like this? How many news conferences, Peter, has he done like this? None.
Zero.
And it would be zero for the next infinity. For infinity, it would be zero.
Mr. President, can you please talk to President Musk for the help implement the executive orders? I think you mentioned implementation.
Elon, no. Elon's very busy sending rocket ships up to various places with lots of satellites on them.
What is your reaction to the confirmation of Marco Rubio on what has been from Latin America?
Which one?
He is correct that that is not something that President Biden would regularly do in terms of interacting with the press. Donald Trump seems to enjoy that much more, and we're seeing him getting right back to that. We're hearing from Peter Doocy of Fox News in the Oval Office right now. So he's still got more to do. He's got to go to 3 different inaugural balls. And remember, it's after 8 o'clock at night here in Washington. Got to do his first dance with the First Lady, going to be speaking at several of those balls. So a long day for Donald.
And he is an older guy, but he's able to keep up with younger men. That's what I noticed. He has a strength about him that is unbelievable. I'm so thrilled to see this man in office. I hope he does not let us down. I really pray that he does the right thing and that his ego doesn't get the best of him, because I know that egos sometimes get in the way of men. Sometimes when they could be great, sometimes that trips them up. And I hope that Trump doesn't allow his ego to trip him up. I hope he stays humble. I hope he feels emboldened by the votes that we gave him and feel, okay with just knowing that most of us have his back. That's what I want Donald J. Trump, our president, to do. I really like him a lot better than I liked Obama. Obama was just something that, seeing him look a certain way because he had that melon. We all ran for the melon, and look what the melon caused. Nothing good. So we have to hope that Trump is going to do right, even though he is not melanated. And I'm okay with that. I know a lot of people like to talk about us, being okay with being an American, being in America. I wish Trump would look into Pan-Africans inciting all this bullying that they do on YouTube. I wish that he would get wind of that, because I don't think that's a good thing. I'm kind of going off track a little bit, but you guys will catch up with me with other videos, because there's always an onslaught of people meddling with Black Americans about our identity. We are not allowed to just remain in peace and just become American and be okay in our own skin. A lot of people want to pull us away and make us an issue here, and that will be Pan-Africans. You guys know that. All this talk that Umar does, Collagenesis does, and others do pertaining to Pan-African talk, I wish that they would just take their asses to Africa, since that's where they claim they want to ultimately be, and go on about their business. But yeah, I wish Trump would listen to different people that talk treacherous, that are traitorous or traitors to, what it is to be an American, what it is to not look at everybody in a harsh lens. We all have a history here. We all have significance here. We all should unify on some level of, friendship and brother and sistership. Here as Americans, we have to somehow find our way in that regard, so I'm praying that something can be worked out. But it starts with the leader. I know that much. It starts with this man right here on the screen. Is he going to do what he says and mean what he says? Is he going to be bought? I know that he's going to have a whole lot of people going up against him, but hopefully he'll have good lawyers as well to be able to defeat all that kind of stuff in court. But we just have to put him up and pray for him, pray for him to stay humble and not let that ego get the best of him. Anyways, that's what I have to say about it. Okay, let me see what you guys, let me see how long this is got to go. I'll play the rest of this.
Trump, and coming up a little bit later here on Fox 11, we're going to be talking about the
the extraordinary presence of some of the richest men in the world who are all there at the inauguration today. We're talking about Elon Musk speaking at the rally. We'll show you some of what he said, which is getting a lot of attention tonight when we join you again. But now back to you, Marla and Christine, and a busy news night back home.
Yeah. And I'm sure that a lot of people have a lot to say in the chat room, especially if you're Black. I've seen someone asking about syphilis. K Queen, why did they give Black soldiers syphilis? It was a wicked time. I can't really answer that because I wasn't part of that ridiculous and evil wickedness that happened back when. I don't know what year it was. You have to remind me of all that. I used to know, was it in the 40s? The syphilis, it was some type of experiment to see how syphilis was going to react inside of somebody, untreated, I think. Yeah, it was a wicked time. There has been very, very wicked times here in America, but we need to turn the page from all of that. We got to stop having wicked times. We got to look for better days and better hope and pray for better leadership and people that don't have wickedness in their hearts seeping out of their pores. You know, the Democrats didn't have goodwill towards us, as you saw. So what do we have to lose trying it out with Trump for the first time? We haven't given a Republican an opportunity in 4 years, and we could not continue down the path we were with the Democrats on. That was wickedness too. The last 4 years, allowing 11 plus or 20 million illegals to flood through, crimes, rapes, murders. Someone was set on fire, robberies, gangs, fentanyl. What about that wickedness? It doesn't have to be as obvious, but it is wicked what Biden did, what Kamala allowed, what they all were about. The Democrats were also wicked too. Anywhere you go around the world, there's not really, I don't see a good place to really lay your head upon in other melanated places or even other places. I mean, I haven't been all over the world, but I hear that people are trying to make their way to America around the world. So I'm thinking that America can't be as bad as other places today. That's why so many people from Venezuela, from Africa, from China, from India, it goes on and on and on, are making their way over here. So if it was that wretched still, okay, Queen, I don't think people would be coming, especially if they're melanated. So we have left that time when that happened. I believe it was the 40s. If I'm guessing right, let me know. Or if I'm wrong with the years where that experiment happened, correct me, because my memory's not that great. But I think it's time for us to move forward. We got to have a point of turning for something better, you know, and walk away from what was crap, what was bad. Biden was not good. There was nothing about him benefiting Americans whatsoever. Where was the benefit? And it was also wicked because of all that he allowed to come up over here. Now we got to sort through all this mess. Trump has to sort through all this mess and figure this stuff out as he goes. And so you got to give him a little room to move and do stuff. And it's going to be kind of harsh sounding to some people because they thought that they were entitled and they were taking advantage of America, and that's not going to be the case no more. So it's going to sound harsh and tough to the ones that were about that entitlement and about flooding America. But that ends now. And so we have to turn the page mentally, spiritually, in every way that you can, at least give it a chance to see what is going to be and what's going to happen before you just jump to conclusions and start making up stuff in your mind and dreaming negatively to the point where you are frozen. You know, we gotta hope for something good. I'm praying. But let me see what you guys are saying in the chat, because I've been ranting a little bit, I know. But this is the first day that he's been in office as president. It is kind of significant. It is kind of important. It is history. This is historic. Okay, let me go back up. I know lip readers got Obama saying to Bush, how do we stop this? All while smiling in Trump's face yesterday. Ooh, Evelyn, are you serious? How are we going to stop this? Wow. See, I don't trust them. I don't trust none of the Democrats. I don't trust not a one. Patricia Walker, and you head back where your mommy came from. You guys are crazy. Don't worry about her racist, jealous. Hey, okay, so you guys are having some interesting discussions in the chat room, or maybe not. Michael, so I'm worried as well, because clearly there's some snakes around him. Obama's one too. They can't be trusted. Trump is always going to be in danger. That's another thing he took on, you know, the element of that possibly happening, attempting again to happen. He's going to be always under deep threat and needing, you know, to be secured. And I know that he got to like think about it from time to time. So it's not an easy job for President Trump at all. It's not going to be easy for him. But he's willing to put his neck on the line to try to see if he can change some things from going the way it's been. And what have you people built? Laura Makes a Way says. Who are you talking to? And Sheila says, Evelyn, Richard, where did you see that? Ray says, Patricia, so how far back do you want to go on ownership? Tribes killed each other and took each other's territory for generations before Europeans even showed up. Oh yeah, that doesn't fit your idea. Oh, you guys are talking about get along, try to get along. You know, this is a new day. That's all I can say. I don't know what types of people, if they're trolling or not. But I hope that people are not trying to be inciting division just to be citing division when Trump hasn't been given the opportunity to see what direction he's really going in. We hear the blueprint of what he's trying to do, but how it all plays out is what we're waiting to see what happens. So I hope that we just understand where we're at today. So this is 2025. This is not 1940. This is not 1960, 70, 80, 90, 2000, 2010. It's 2025. It's, you know, been a while. All right. Atticus says, those with eyes to see and hear, these things have to happen. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Sheila says, thank you, Evelyn. I'll try to find it. Okay, it's called Meta. What is it? Scott is saying some type of drug. You're talking about, I think you're talking about crank or wire, methamphetamines. That's what you're talking about. Okay. Trump is already not letting us down. Well, it's also fentanyl, also, Scott, not just methamphetamines. It's also fentanyl. It's been going on for a while now, and there's a lot of cities that's really been affected by fentanyl. And that's what's been coming through, killing people a lot. So also alongside of that particular drug also, fentanyl and other drugs. But they have easy access when the borders are open to do whatever they desire. That's why Trump has got to do something. Trump is already not letting us down, Michael says. Yeah, he is going forward with signing the executive orders. He still has to battle people in court. It's not over. Evelyn says they always lip reading them now. Yeah, they are. But that's messed up if Obama said that. Sheila says Laura makes her way. It's hilarious. Yes, she is. 2 days in and nothing but wins, Michael says. Exactly. Laura makes her way says she's gone. She's bitter. She's racist. She's always here. Who? Oh, Lord. Streetwalker, Sheila says. Who y'all talking about? Take away my fun. I wanted to see her stumble over her ideas. Who you talking about? You talking about the lady that got blocked? Did she get blocked forever? Who you block? Don't you love the trolls who come just to disagree and argue with us? Sheila for days. Okay. Ray, these people cannot defend the crap that comes out of their own mouth. It's like go to Kamala's page or something. Just ignorant. We are all Americans, and no matter our color or race, we stand together. We have to, Vicky. I know that it's polarizing, though, listening to other people talk on different platforms, and they're trying to rattle little old Black Americans, into getting hateful and not wanting to be around, certain people here in America. Okay. And they keep spilling this rhetoric to us everywhere we are. And if we don't agree with it, then we're sellouts and we hate ourselves and we're trying to be white. That's a new one for me. Trying to be white. I never knew I could try to be white before. I never understood that part. I'm just trying to live. I'm just trying to survive, just like everybody else. We all have a right to survive and live and thrive and do something and attempt to do something. Zoloff says, cheers, we all got to come together. I think after a few weeks, some people will see he doesn't have bad intentions. I think you're right. If they be patient and let at least till summer come around. Of course, we have to make sure that there's no crazy nut trying to do something to Trump. We got to make sure that that doesn't happen as well. Like I say, it's a dangerous time for him. And I read that already. Ray says they couldn't defend a bagel from a puppy, let alone their political theories. Laura Makes a Way says, I can't take people coming here because they are bitter. Harris, Biden destroyed this country. Yes, they did. There's no way around it. If somebody views what happened in the last 4 years as nothing bad, there's something that's wrong with them. I mean, everything that could go wrong, he allowed to happen. And we still have all these people unvetted just all over the place, just hanging out or hiding out, plotting, scheming, and some of them even demons. They coming out of the woodworks. It's crazy. Oh, this started during Bush. It has just progressed since people started to echo chamber on social media. Okay. K Queen, why are they getting lit up on the block now? Lord Makes a Way says, I don't know. Pinky says, yo, be honest, most Black and white Americans had no problems with each other, just living and enjoying their lives. Then the wariest immigrants started flooding in and causing divide. Well, I do know that immigrants do get on social media talking this Pan-African talk, getting together with other American dumb birds talking Pan-African talk, and it doesn't need to be in the spaces of America. It doesn't really need to be there. That's why I wish that they would be barred. There was a way to bar them from even having access to, make them go to Africa like they claim that they want to do. They shouldn't be able to incite what they incite to us all the time. And I'm sick of them. I'm sick of y'all. Really, I am. Okay. I wish all of you guys would understand we can't pick our race, but we can choose to love each other. We can choose to get along. God gives us a choice. K Queen says, oh yeah, I've met some beautiful people that are not black. Many were white, some were Indian, some were other races of people, throughout my life. They don't necessarily have to be melanated black folks for me to get along with them. It just depends on their intentions and what they are trying to be about around me. That's it. That's all. If they're trying to be cool around me, I'm cool around them. Roger says, yikes, y'all forget this was all Mexico. I didn't forget, but I really don't know if I understand that to be the truth or not, but okay. And Sheila says, I love you, Queen. Evelyn says, exactly, I think race shouldn't be a question on applications. We are Americans, and when that's what we start identifying as, we can unite all the more. Yeah, I wish that would be not a barrier, because a lot of people tend to use that and say that we really don't belong here. We really are not up to par as being American. All this talk, they want to keep feeding that to us, that poisonous rhetoric, keeping us dumbed down and just feeling bad about ourselves. It's really a strange thing, but that's what's going on social media right now. That's why I talk about that, my identity, so much for those that are confused right now. And I talk against Pan-African talk because it's against the morale of blacks here in America. And I don't even like saying Black American hardly anymore. I'd rather just say American, but just to let y'all know who and what I mean, because not all of you guys can look in the lenses of what I'm talking on, because you're not a Black American. So you wouldn't typically understand, because you don't have the pressures that's on YouTube from your own trying to badger you and bash you and gaslight you and scapegoat you and treat you like you ain't nothing, with the rhetoric that is pouring on in social media spaces. They are upset if you're not upset. They think something's wrong with you if you're okay and you're doing better. It's weird. They want you to suffer. They want you to feel miserable about where you are in life and where you live. And that's just a terrible place to be and deal with these types of people that are around us like that. Melanated, that's all you're saying. Melanated areas are the worst in America. A lot of them can be kind of bad, Charlie, but not all. A lot of the media makes us look a little bit worse than what we are. There are decent black folks, though, in America, and you probably would never, ever meet them or know anything about them because of what you see on media. They emphasize our worst. You got to work on that yourself, Charlie, and figure that out. I can't help you. Pinky says men need to stop having children they don't want to feed. That ends child support. Exactly, Pinky. That's a great idea. That is a great idea. Men are complaining about feeding their children. They don't want to feed their kids. It's really a strange time to witness. So we suggest you stop having sex. That's what I suggest. If you don't want to have kids, stop having sex then. Do the woman a favor and leave her alone so that you can get yourself together and gather your kids and figure out what you're supposed to be doing. That would be a great idea. Michael says, if America is such a wicked place, then why do all people of the world want to come here? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, you trying to sell me and tell me that America is so wicked and it's not going to ever work for me, and I'm never going to be received. I'm never going to be loved. I'm never going to be approved and all, like, but everybody's coming here. Everybody's to die to come here. We'll die. We'll lose a kidney to come here. And y'all want to sell me out on this notion that I got to go? Like, that's the horrible messaging that we get all the time, though. You tell me why they are the worst in America, Charlie B. That's right. Atticus says, insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results, trusting another president to change things. Well, like I said, the last 4 years, if you didn't know, was really, really bad. It was really bad. So from that going as downward as we were going, at least we can look up a little bit. How far can I look up? I don't know yet. Only time's going to reveal that. Ray says, think most of the, what is that? Though falls under when it is used as a punishment. It gets abused by the courts in too many cases. Some guys pay support for children they have custody of. Oh, okay. Well, you guys should be advocating, Ray, getting together with other guys to do a class action or something, case to talk about your problems with, some of the fathers taking care of their own kids, and they have to still pay child support. That kind of sounds ridiculous. If they still have to pay child support if they have access to their children like that. Charlie B says Queen K Queen DNA. Laura Makes a Way says it's not bad, it's all BS. That's why they are flooding in. Well, we're done. Yes, we're done. And yes, the flooding in it was a threat. It's a security threat, and Trump is the only one that recognized that. So you got to give it to him. What's in your DNA? Who you talking to? Me? A lot of stuff, not just one thing. Pinky says, no, there's not the same, are definitely been white as they brought the savage behavior to America. Huh? I don't know what you guys talking about. Lori, it was a rhetorical question. Laura Makes a Way says, Atticus, so we are supposed to let the Harris regime take this place over? No, we're not supposed to let Harris regime take nothing over. I'm so thrilled that she did not make it in. I had nightmares thinking about her. It would have really been bad. Really. Where is all the missing children that came across the border, Vicky says. That's one of the things that Tom Homan mentioned, that he was interested in trying to figure out and trying to remedy. So they are going to do all of that, supposedly, looking for kids that are out there, and also deporting families together. Pinky Wells, what's white areas? Charlie says. Laura Makes a Way says, I hope they can find the kids. Yes, I hope so too. The area you live in. Okay, you guys are talking among yourselves. So you agree that what you're doing is in fact insane, but what else can we possibly do? I admit you got me there. There's nothing else we can do but see what's going to be happening. We got to hope for something better, though. Lot of goofballs up in the chat today, Michael says. Okay. Atticus says, I just hope God takes me before things get really bad, but I don't know. Why would you say that? Are you old? How old are you, Atticus? Are you in your 50s, 60s, 70s? What's your year bracket? I'd rather be under Trump than Kamala any day. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Kamala would have been a nightmare. She would have kept that border on open. And a lot of people would have been having more crimes and just a lot of devastating things. At least people are scattering right now, hiding out or scattering. You know, they're not going to be trying to be out there seen like that. So we have to wait and see what's about to happen. But I'll be there to get some of these news clips as best I can. Godly people will come together because we are all brothers and sisters in the eyes of God, Vicky says. Yeah, we do have to come together with a better mindset. That's true, Vicky K. Queen says. Pinky says they pay back child support. Some get custody, so they don't have to pay that. Does erase back child support, and it should not. They should have paid on time. So Pinky thinks that if you don't pay on time, that you will get what erase back child. They won't be able to erase the back child support. Hey, what's up, EDAC? How are you doing? Can we all just thank God Donald Trump won? I'm thankful. I'm very happy, but a lot of people have a lot of fear though. They still gonna have some fear because the media has been talking about him being such a bad person. They want to connect him to the Nazis and to Hitler and say that he is the boogeyman of the year and that he wants to be a dictator. So there is a lot of people that are very uncertain about what's about to happen. But I just want to give him a little bit of benefit of the doubt because, like I said, we've been doing bad for 4 years. So we have no other place to do but look up from this point on. You know, that's all you can pray for. Did godly people vote for Kamala? Laura Mixaway says, I don't think so. Not too many, because to go forth with abortion rights, to go forth with transgender agenda, you know, those were pretty wicked right there. Pretty wicked. I understand when you get grown and you want to make a decision to become transgender, that's you personally able to make a conscious decision, a choice. You're grown. But when you apply that to kids as young as 7, 6, 10, 11, and you start having them ingest like hormones and you do this type of thing because the child had a dream or the child thought it wanted to play with dolls or it didn't mind having on girl shoes, and I don't know, it really became real to the left, far to the left. It was getting really, really bad. So we have to pull it in, rein it in. But I don't think that people just thinking that women should be able to willy-nilly get abortions like going to the bathroom is not good. I don't think that's godly. Okay, it's not just me thinking that, Pinky says. Between 1932 and 1972, oh, you talking about the syphilis experiment lasted that long? Are you serious? Biden says, let them come. Trump says, you're not welcome. He said it early. He let it be known well before November hit the fan. He'd been saying that the whole time that he was on the campaign trail. So nobody should be confused on what Trump is doing now. Pinky gonna regulate the chat. Yes, she does. She is the hitter up in here. She is the arms in here. Lots of them don't pretend. You don't know where they are. And look at where they came from. You think they changed. Stop. Okay. Patricia Walker is bitter. Okay. America is great. No one said it was perfect. No, it's not perfect. Devin says, boo. Okay. Our safety, all these evil people have entered this country. They're not all evil, but there are a lot that did get in, that slipped in, that need to be returned to sender wherever they came from. Alexis Galaxis says, ain't gonna save ya. What ain't gonna save us? You think Trump is not gonna save us? Why you say that? You sound like you want us to have a bad go of it. Why do you want us to have a bad go of it? What's wrong with you? The Keith Boykin guy thinks because he's at Harvard and an overhyped CNN contributor, he thinks he can talk down to black people who voted for Trump. Yeah, Keith Boykin guy. Let me see, who is that? Was he talking down just to black people? Of course. We all get it. If it's not a Pan-African, it's a Democrat talking down to black people. We get a lot of people talking down to us. I don't know who this person is, but I'm about to look him up. Keith Boykin. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen him before. He's definitely a shill. Let me play. If I could find something that was small. Hold on. See, Abby. I don't know. It's not a good video. I can't find a good video of him, but yeah, I see what you mean, who he is. I've heard him before. He is definitely trying to rein in the sheeple to keep us all nice and tidy, for the people to control us, the Democrats. And they're mad. They're big mad that they lost. They're big mad that they don't know what the future holds and that they don't have the power to make things happen anymore. They are definitely upset about it. Just tell me how I'm mopping and listening, Pinky says. Sleeper cells everywhere. Yeah, you're right. There are sleeper cells here. Not to forget about the terrorist ones. Like that guy that just did all that unaliving. Was it in was it Louis? No, it was I forgot the city already. The guy that took his truck and went through a crowd of people and killed all those people like that. And he had an ISIS flag on his vehicle. That guy. Was it Louisiana? Atticus says, identifying men and women with a certain color has never sat well with me. Individual races are so much more and should be called something with a little more thought put into it. Dehumanizing. Yeah, Atticus, but I have to say something. I have to let you understand what I'm talking about. I can't be just colorblind when I talk about certain topics because, my audience, a lot of them are black and they need to understand what I'm talking about sometimes. And if I'm referencing them, for them to understand I am referencing them. So that's why. Block me, fine. Why are you going to get blocked? K Queen has a good soul. Yeah, she does. Edex says, YouTube biggest mistake I've come to find out is how they like to compare black foreigners' achievements in America to black Americans as though they are saying, see, they are not lazy like you, black Americans. Yeah, they love to pit them against us. That's what we get it from all directions. It's actually really tiring how much attention we get from so many different people that want to keep us in line and keep us overwhelmed, bombarded with so much bullying and all kinds of just mess that they do. You guys I'll show y'all eventually if you stick with me. So united, we need to stand. Exactly, Evelyn. It's not just panties causing divide. Immigrants from Asia, Europe, Slavic and Latino countries are also causing problems. Yes, they are, alongside of the Democrats. You ain't never lie. We get it from everybody. We're the only group of people that is totally overwhelmingly attacked by every other group that comes over here. Everybody has all eyes on us. They definitely going to start talking about us as these deportations continue. They're going to be bringing us up in conversations that don't even make no sense. I bet you. Watch. Only 4 states were Mexico, and they lost it in a war. They didn't want to continue fighting. All countries in this world have territory they took in battles. Michael says, not a big fan of Malcolm X. He was pro-separatism. Not a big fan. I'm more of a Frederick Douglass type, to be honest with you, Michael. I really appreciated Frederick Douglass the most. Then I appreciate Martin Luther King second, and then Malcolm X third. Because Malcolm X, he was doing some different stuff later on before he was unalived. Went to do the Mecca thing, and he was trying to be a Muslim, a different type of Muslim, and I just don't feel connected to him with all that religion right there. But I find more peace or knowledge from Frederick Douglass, because he left us a lot of information about speeches he's done, and he was for women and for colored people, because that was the term they used back when, colored. So Frederick Douglass, I just think that he was a great asset for our pool of knowledge that we should pull from. Frederick Douglass. But Malcolm X, I mean, he meant well. It's just that he was so young, and I can't put all my eggs in his basket, because he was trying to search and figure it out himself. He was still searching. Evelyn says, yes, we all have these pressures trying to divide us with their rhetoric. Yes. Who are you better than? Eric says. So who are you talking to? I meet good Black people every day. You can call me D. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Michael says, if southern states belong to Mexico, then I guess Mexico belongs to Spain then. Daddy's home. David Rowe, how are you doing? Thank you for coming through. Vicky says, I'm from a small town and we all went to school together. We all like each other. Oh, okay. Pinky says, near the end of his life, he was starting to talk differently. He went to that meeting for Muslims and he met people, big all races, and figured out NOI teachings were wrong for him. Yeah, like I said, Pinky, he was still in search of himself. So what Malcolm X believed in, he was not fixed in his ideology completely. And even though he was playing around with Pan-African thought, I think a little, he just missed the mark with me on that. So I appreciate him being down for us and speaking up for us, and he lost his life and everything. But I'm still more of a Frederick Douglass type of person. When is your time and you in front of God, what you're going to say? I didn't like them because they were this color. Kate Queen says, I don't dislike nobody unless you dislike me. Unless you give me a reason to dislike you. I don't look to dislike. I cannot pretend to understand everyone's plight. No one can, but I genuinely wish all my fellow Americans love and respect and support you in your growth as my brothers and sisters, fellow Americans. Yeah, I do too, Evelyn. You're very sweet. Thank you for that. Please hit the like button, you guys. Obama built the cages. Is that right? Obama did that. KMH10. Okay, so I've been on here for a while with reading. I'm going to get back to the latest on the update for the fire. For those that have not been paying attention to the fires, let me give an update real quick on that, and then we'll go on to the next.
Breaking overnight, as more wildfires spark in Southern California. Now evacuation orders are underway in the San Diego area as we're monitoring the situation from our Scripps news station. We will keep you updated. It comes as those deadly wildfires still burn in Los Angeles this morning as strong winds return to the region. This video from overnight showing crews fighting the Chambers wildfire there in Riverside County.
Yes, all over this area, Riverside more inland than where we were seeing the other ones. Crews still working to put out those other fires, the Palisades and Eaton fires. ABC 15 tracking the latest numbers for you. Containment for both continues to go up. That's the good news. It comes as the fires have killed at least 27 people and destroyed more than 15,000 structures, according to CAL FIRE.
Now, as progress continues, Arizona Forestry's Task Force 2 is returning home after 14 days of fighting the Eaton fire and helping the Californians impacted. 6 Arizona Forestry task forces are still helping fight the flames. And yesterday, former Vice President Kamala Harris visiting local fire stations and thanking firefighters for their efforts.
We wanted to come out, and in particular to this extraordinary community, and just let people know that we see them and that they are cared for.
President Donald Trump says he will travel to California Friday to visit the parts of the state impacted by these fires. Meantime, the dangerous windy weather helping to spark new fires in other parts of Southern California. Like we mentioned, firefighters having to work to quickly put out brush fires in Griffith Park and also Poway, which is in northern San Diego County, as we mentioned.
So this video that I just showed is about how old? 5 hours old. So the winds are picking up in Southern California. At least 2 new fires break out. Here is also another video I wanted to show. Of course, there are some people that are able to go back to the area where the fires were. They're allowed to go home if they have a home to go back to. Some did find homes, and other people didn't find anything but rubble. So I want to show the latest in that, and this will conclude the update. It's a warning going out in those 2 areas. That video's 5 hours long or old. So.
All right, Samara, let's give you the latest here on the fires and where we stand this morning. We'll start with the Palisades fire. More than 23,000 acres have burned. Containment is now at 56%. Nearly 6,000 structures have been destroyed. Over 700 have been damaged, and 10 people are confirmed dead. As for the Eaton fire, more than 14,000 acres have burned. Containment now at 81%. More than 9,000 structures have been destroyed. More than 1,000 have been damaged, and 17 are confirmed dead. Crews in the Eaton fire zone will look again to gain more ground, all while keeping an eye out for sign of any trouble in terms of those dangerous winds. They are expected to return later today. Mario Ramirez is live in Altadena with the very latest there. Mario.
Good morning. A good sign there was no fire growth reported over the weekend, and more residents in these evacuation zones are being given the clearance to return. We're at one of several of those California National Guard checkpoints, and this morning we're expecting more residents to repopulate this area as we are anticipating a new wind event moving in today. Take a look. The city of Pasadena is beginning enforcement of red flag parking restrictions. They started 8 o'clock this morning, designed to make it easier for the fire department to respond and help residents evacuate quickly, and those parking restrictions will stay in place through tomorrow at 6 p.m. Meanwhile, as containment of the fire has grown to 81%, with ground crews getting help from water-dropping helicopters, putting out hotspots in the steep canyon areas. Officials have completed inspections for nearly all, 98% of the structures in this fire area, with over 9,000 now confirmed destroyed. Thousands remain evacuated, but some are being allowed slowly to return to their homes or what's left of it, like Mona Morgan, who's lived in this area in Altadena for almost 6 decades.
This has been our family home. My mother worked very hard to get this home. It's my first time doing a complete walkthrough, yes. And everything is a total loss. I would love to rebuild. This is all we know. This is all my kids know, all my grandkids know, all my sisters and brothers know.
and utility crews are still working nonstop around the clock to get power back up in the area once fire officials give the okay, as thousands remain without power. And these fire zones are still being enforced by that overnight curfew from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Hundreds of Cal Guard members securing these areas. And fire officials do plan to host a virtual meeting on the EV fire today at 4 p.m. And that'll also be streamed on the LA County Fire Department's YouTube page. For now, that's the latest in Altadena. I'm Mario Ramirez. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Mario, thank you. Meantime, dangerous winds could create new challenges in the Pacific Palisades. We've got Gigi Graciette live in Malibu with more on this. Gigi, here we go again. Good morning.
That's right. And according to the National Weather Service, Malibu, this is sort of where the warning area starts. And the concern is that any ash, any embers that might still be around from the Palisades fire could spread. We're on PCH. You see a red tagged home here damaged by the fire. But then right next to it, and we see this up and down Pacific Coast Highway, you've got a home. It appears to almost be constructed out of cement that is still standing. And the concern is for the homes that might not be made out of cement and survive the fire. Take a look. First responders, firefighters preparing for the dangerous fire weather conditions as the National Weather Service warns of yet another, quote, powerful and potentially damaging Santa Ana wind event starting later this morning, bringing with it the increased risk should a fire start of it spreading quickly. The LA Fire Department has pre-deployed resources throughout the city, as has the Los Angeles County Fire Department, with both the cities of Los Angeles and Malibu telling residents to stay alert. There are also precautionary closures in place. The new wind warning has a lot of folks on edge.
I lost my home in the Woolsey fire, so I'm probably more prepared than most, I guess. I don't know. I have everything lined up as soon as you walk in my house to evacuate.
I think everyone's a little bit on the edge of their seats right now. Every little gust or anything would kind of easily freak somebody out.
When the wind, like Santa Ana's kick up in our area, it's very weird. There's like a weird little hush that comes through town. Even like young kids, they kind of look at their parents. Everybody has the hair up on their back. It's only triggered a lot of previous trauma. And I just feel for everybody. I know exactly what they're going through.
Now, we mentioned those precautionary closures. Take a look. Those are some of the road closures. And a lot of places will be closed today, too, including the Los Angeles Zoo and parks like Griffith Park and Runyon Canyon. This is in anticipation of those severe winds. Now, again, stay alert to your local fire agency. Set your alerts. Make sure you have those emergency alerts on your phone enabled. Reporting live in Malibu, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
We could also expect those public safety power shutoffs to take place as well. So, all right, Gigi, thank you. We do have you fully covered here as we expect the potential for hurricane force winds. Samara Khan will have a full forecast coming up. So stay right here on Good Day Late for the latest on the weather.
I'm still wanting to figure out what was the cause of the first part of those fires that broke out. And again, that's going to take a while, but there's a lot of fingers that's pointing at the people that supposedly the Democrats, you know, the governor, Newsom, and the mayor, Karen Bass. There's a video that I want to show before I move on and go back to Trump pertaining to accusations about Governor Gavin's. And let me see if I can find it. It's been a couple of days. I was going to play it yesterday, but then I got preoccupied on Trump. If I can find it. But please hit the like button. Please share, subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. It's been a while. It's been a while. Might not be able to find it. It's basically a video that talks about the lack of management of this Gavin sum. And that's him not tending to the vegetation in these areas where the fires could start. He knew full well by Trump that he needed to be keeping up with the upkeep of that vegetation, and he just didn't do anything. And I don't think I'll be able to find that video, at least not right now. How about I play a song and take a little mini break and let me know, maybe it'll give me a chance to look for it. Hold on. Before I do that, let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Let me slow down for a minute. How do y'all feel about these fires? Again, rest in peace to everyone who have lost their life. It's a very, very tragic situation with the fires, and still a threat is still going on in certain areas because the winds are picking up, and it's just not over. It's not over. The danger is not done. And I know Trump is going to do something for the people that have lost their homes, or he made mention that he has something in mind to do. And also the people in North Carolina that had was it a tornado or hurricane that happened a few months ago? He wants to help those people out as well. So he has a lot on his plate, y'all. Okay, let me go back up. Where was I? New Orleans. Okay, New Orleans. Okay. Pinky, or Michael says, Pinky walking the trash out the back door. MTG 619, just want conversation, not trolling. Okay. Pan-Africans are always Democrats. Most of them are. You're right about that. They work hand in hand together. I remember when Dr. Ericana was so ecstatic about Kamala Harris possibly becoming the first woman president, how she was talking about her. She was so elated. Oh, this is going to give women the opportunity to thrive and think of themselves as being able to do anything, and all that type of talk. She was plugged into the Kamala train. She really believed and this woman was going to win. And I'm so glad that Kamala Harris did not see anything. And I don't believe, even though she went to go visit the area, that she's doing it just to do it. She's trying to see where she's going to be landing her feet at next. Now that she's out of a job, she needs to go do something else next. So where is Kamala Harris going to be? I wonder. What I'm going to do a video about her whenever she does decide to go wherever she's going to go. There was rumors that she might want to try to be governor of California as well. I wonder if that's still in her mind. What do y'all think? He said, Boykin is a drag. Laura Makes a Way says, the floor. New Orleans. Not yet given him a chance to tell me why I need to go was dishes, Pinky says. What have these people achieved in their home countries? Nothing, Laura Makes a Way says. And they hate each other, Atticus says. Mexico stole land also, Laura Makes a Way says. Michael says, one only dish Pinky washing in here is the band hammer dish. Okay. Pinky, I assume you were the one booting the fools. Yes, I was. Okay. Now, they were scared of Malcolm X because of the control he had. They didn't understand, Kay Queen says. Yeah, I don't know. He was up and coming. I don't really feel as if he landed his, I don't know. He was a powerful talker, but he was not complete in himself. That's just how I feel about him. I just felt Malcolm X was somewhat anti-American. That's a sentiment that I got. But see, back then, I can kind of understand it because of how we were being treated, actually, in the 60s. We weren't treated very kind. You know, dogs were being sicked on to people and water hosing to people, and police was just beating up folks, putting them in jail. The KKK was around all over the place. You know, we were fighting to get recognized as even being somebody to be treated like we were human. So I kind of understand the sentiment a little bit, but I think that he was leaning in on Pan-African thinking, kind of. And it doesn't work out today, especially now. It just doesn't work out. How did his wife leave this earth? Lord Makes a Way says, whose wife? You talking about Malcolm X? I think she's still alive, isn't she? Who are you talking about? Pinky says, I guess AJ's scared of a punch from a woman. He didn't respond, so he's gone. Okay. Malcolm X was being taught the wrong thing by the NOI. Those Muslims that destroy things. I never rock with the NOI. Just something about them, you know. But that's why I can't really go off of Malcolm X too much. It skipped. Is it old? Is this old? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Malcolm X was deleted by the same Muslims that told him to hate others. Exactly. You got that part right. He was being trained to hate the white man, but yet the black man ended up killing him. That is irony right there. What in the world is she doing there? Lord Makes a Way says, Kamala lives here in Brentwood, so she still has her house, huh? Bringing her bad energy to Brentwood. Eating fire is my worry. Pinky says, oh, I hope that it doesn't come back, man. I just never heard of a fire like this before. Tadina is still on fire? I don't think so. I thought that some of those people were going back. And she will be the only one not burnt out, Pinky says. Wouldn't that be funny if, well, not funny. That would be ironic if she's the only one that's not burnt out. Michael says, Pinky bet there will be plenty of water to keep Kamala's house safe. I think the fires are man-made. I definitely believe that too. I think it was a big distraction on what is happening now, which is Trump. I think that was done deliberately, and it's terrible. Terry says, skunk in the wood pile. All right. Pinky says, I don't think so. No one out here likes firemen will get lost on their way to their house. Huh? I wonder why she lives in beautiful Brentwood. Laura Makes a Way says, the LA fires remind me a lot of the Hawaiian fires not long ago. Yeah. Exactly like Hawaii, Pinky says. In SD, we have nothing but tons of fuel for fires. In San Diego, I guess you mean, we get them nearly every year in the east part of the country. Wow, Nick. Land grab, Michael asked. A lot of people think that. A lot of people are talking about a new city, a smart city to be built. Terry says, looks like it's not natural. No, it don't. Land grab, I think so too, Terry says. Pinky says a lot of people do. That area is where investors want to build smart cities. Yup. They are intentionally letting the fires burn, Lisa says. I cannot believe how many people have been displaced already and made homeless already. It's just really sad. SD has so much land, it doesn't make sense for a land grab. It's just a natural fire in the chaparral. Nearly all of San Diego is a chaparral. Pinky says Pacific Palisades. I can never say this word. Palisades and Aladina, prime real estate, perfect location for smart cities. Where is the rain? I know that's right. Keep voting for Democrats. This will continue. Yeah, we got to keep them out of office wherever they may be. They need to go. Metal was twisted because of direct heat, and the trees and shrubs didn't burn, Terry says. Oh, wow. Nick says none of the east parts of California are good for building homes. It's all fuel. Look at a topography maps to see San Diego geographic makeup. I feel so bad for them. Fireworks. You said San Diego has a completely different mayor. Come on, Nick says. So you're saying other mayors are also at fault for doing this too? Maybe they're all, a whole host of them. I ain't no telling. Yeah, but I was speaking about the LA fires. Nick says, and we have a balance of GOP and Dems in San Diego. Most of San Diego is military bases. More people are Republican than Dems in San Diego. Terry says, thank God for giving us President Trump. Exactly. San Diego is far. How did it get over there? Most won't be able to rebuild. Their insurance companies canceled their policies a few months before the fire. State Farm leaving California. They want to change or charge homeowners 52% and renters 30% more. That's jacked up. It's just so many people are playing and making it worse and worse and worse. Was it windy there last night? Laura Makes a Way asks. I don't know. That was the only 2 videos that I found that was as current as I got it. If those homeowners didn't do their part in clearing brush, they get no help to rebuild. Pinky says Dr. Ericana wanted more money for her African continent. Oh, you just don't know. I will be doing a live, Pinky, about her again. She reemerged a couple of days ago talking about getting our money again, going to build Africa. It's still ongoing. It hasn't stopped. So I will be designating a segment where I'll talk about Pan-African talk, but Trump is so new, I got to talk about him now. You said Kamala planning to run for governor of California. I had heard that maybe she might think about it. Who knows? Why isn't Dr. Ericana talking about Zimbabwe? What's going on in Zimbabwe? Please hit the like. Malcolm ex-wife. You want to know what happened to her? I think she's still around. Let me look her up. Malcolm ex-wife. Malcolm ex-wife. Oops. Oh, she passed. She was found dead in New York City apartment. Oh, that's the daughter. Oh, the daughter. You said Malcolm X's widow is severely burnt in suspicious fire like 9 years ago. Is she still around? Hold on. Three years ago, though, Malcolm X's daughter was found dead in New York City apartment. About the wife, I haven't seen that she passed. I've seen that she was burnt 9 years ago. But maybe, oh, she had a homecoming. Hold on. Let me just look it up on the regular. I don't know her name. That's the problem. Malcolm. Betty Shabazz, born Betty Dean. Oh, she passed in 1997. also known as Betty X, was an American educator and civil rights advocate. She was married to Malcolm X, but she passed in 1997, so she's no longer here. I didn't know that she was still, well, I didn't know she passed. I don't know what happened in Zimbabwe, though. Eaton is Altindina. Oh, it is? See, I don't know the area at all. It's Altindina. Okay. All right, you taught me something new. I don't know that area at all in southern California. Yes, San Diego gets lots of winds and, again, lots of fuel. Nick says, a lot of people don't like Kamala. The firefighters will get lost on their way to Kamala's house fire. Wow. Our temps on average are 5 degrees higher. Last year we had rain so bad a lot of our homes were flooded, Nick says. But a Freakonomics podcast I subscribed to had it as an episode. Okay, pray for rain, but not a lot of rain. Lord makes a way. Yeah, we definitely need some rain. Remember, we are in El Nino, which means dry weather for the upper continents. Yeah, she passed on. The grandson got rid of her. You talking about the daughter? Or you talking about Malcolm X's daughter? Nick says in most of California, we have NIMBY, nepotism. Most of the old white people who own land around San Diego continue to vote against new developments. All Zimbabweans are starving. Wow. I probably won't vote for Kamala. I remember the best governor of California was Brown. I don't know if she's going to run for sure. I just heard that people are speculating where is she going to go next. Maybe she would try to become a governor of California because she lives there. But I don't know. So look, I want to take a quick break. Pinky, do you have a song that I can play that's kind of long? Or I can find one. I did have a song in mind, but I don't remember which song it is. Hold on, if I can find it or not. I'll take a quick little break and then I'll be back. But I'll come back to Trump. Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I was supposed to talk about. He said anything by Kun. Hey, you just deleted it too fast. I need to go from now on. Kun really enjoyed this. Thank you, Vicky. I like that group. You got to say it again, Pinky. I've seen it. Real. Okay, I'm going to play Love's Train. Love's Train. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick little break. I'm going to let my dog out. And while I go, I'm going to play Confunction. I think that's what I read. But you took it off real quick. But I'm going to play this song because I have to go take her because she's looking really crazy.
Sometimes heartstrings can be broken, but you just got to keep on going. That's the way it goes on Love's Train. All night, baby, don't stop, baby. So she calls him. Dial that number, no one answers till 2 o'clock. If by chance you just come over, 'cause darling, please, I've got to see you, baby. And if by chance you let me just hold you, down on my knees, I wanna see you, baby. I feel like this woman. She said, sugar, honey, darling, I really wanna see you too. It's just that someone's over, and baby, I really wanna be with you. But if by chance you let me just hold you, I'm coming to free. I wanna see you, baby. When it's me, you said you would be here. And you hold the key to my very finest, baby. I love you, baby. You got that special love keeps you tied to another. That's the way it goes on Love's Train. Sometimes heartstrings can be broken, but you just got to keep on going. That's the way it goes on Love's Train. Love all night, baby, don't stop, baby. So she calls him. Dial that number, no one answers till 2 o'clock. If by chance you just come over, 'cause darling, please, I've got to see you, baby. The minute you said you would be here. And now I'm in need, and please believe me. That special love keeps you tied to another. That's the way it goes on Love's Train. Down, take a ride. Sometimes heartstrings can be broken, but you just got to keep on going. That's the way it goes on Love's Train. Listen, baby. It keeps on broken and soaking. You just got to keep on struggling. That's the way it goes on Love's Train. Nothing hurts the thing, don't make you wanna cry. Come on. You are that special love keeps you tied to another. That's the way it goes on Love's Train. Find yourself. Sometimes heartstrings can be broken, but you just have to keep on going. That's the way it goes on Love's Train. Time everything gonna be alright.
Just in time, y'all. Just in time. I love that song. That was a wonderful song. Thank you for that selection. Let's get back to the latest on Trump about these deportations and some of the executive orders that he signed. I'm not done talking about Trump just yet. Let's get back to our president, Donald J. Trump.
And within hours of his presidency, the Trump administration shut down a border app called CBP1 that allowed migrants to legally enter the U.S. That means all existing appointments have been canceled. And CBS News Miami's Yvonne Taylor has been busy working this story all day for us. He's been on top of the immigration issue in South Florida for months, even years now at this point. Yvonne, what is the reaction to the president's latest executive actions?
People have rights regardless of their status, Lauren. That is what an immigration act.
People have rights regardless of their status. Very interesting. What rights do they have exactly? Where do these rights come from? What did they do to get these rights? They're using our civil rights for other groups of people now. This is what they are calling their rights. It's crazy.
Just told me, but we are going to start precisely with reactions to that program that you just mentioned, which is no longer in existence.
Margelis Tinoco breaks down in tears at the Mexican-U.S. border. Her asylum appointment scheduled for today was canceled. President Donald Trump shut down a mobile app known as the CBP1, which enabled Tinoco and many immigrants who sought to enter the United States through legal ports of entry. The website now says all appointments are canceled.
We have 31,000 people who remain in Mexico, had a way for people to sign up, walk through a line, be interviewed.
We asked immigration attorney Willie Allen what options exist for Tinoco and many more like her.
I'm not sure what's going to be the next approach. I am concerned.
Not surprised at all. Jeffsy Meletis, an immigration activist in South Florida, tells me her organization and many others began preparing for the executive orders announced today.
It's also important that our family members take every measure, every action that's possible to protect their assets, their children, and their interests.
She tells me they will be holding workshops for a wide variety of immigrants.
Unfortunate people that have already gotten into the process, that he's going to cut that off now. I don't think that's fair. If they should be grandfathered in. If they were already in the process of doing some kind of immigration legally.
Mixed reactions on Monday at this Cuban landmark where many of the president's supporters gathered.
We cannot have open border and everybody come in and they check him in and they have a pass and they send him to Chicago or New York.
And I will send troops to the southern border to repel the disastrous invasion of our country.
The first part of his inaugural address was dedicated to border security.
We will also be designating the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations.
It's a great day for America. He said exactly what the American people voted for.
I think the word after the speech today for the immigrants is fear.
So there you have it. Besides the CBP1,
they were warned, though. They were warned, and they did not heed the warning. So what can you do? What can you do? You can't have it open-ended forever. 4 years is long enough. 4 long years is long enough.
This order will apply to approximately 1,500 people, sir.
So this is January 6th. These are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon. Full pardon.
Full pardon or commutation?
Full pardon. We have about 6 commutations in there where we're doing further research. Nice to see you again. So this is a big one. Anything you want to explain about this? We hope they come out tonight, frankly. We're expecting it. Approximately 1,500 people. Six commutations.
Were there any cases you did not contain moral pardon?
We're looking at different things, but the commutations would be the ones that we'll take a look at. Maybe it'll stay that way, or it'll go to full pardon.
And the order does require the Bureau of Prisons to act immediately on receipt of the pardons and commutation orders.
Sir, this is an
Why don't we get that down so they can get them going right now?
Yes, sir. Yep, absolutely. This is a proclamation guaranteeing the state's protection against invasion based on the current crisis of the southern border. It invokes various executive powers relating to the ongoing invasion of the southern border.
Mr. President, what makes you confident that those are not going to be blocked by the courts?
I don't think they will. I don't think they can be. They're very straight up. Why don't you take that and go over here? Can you get him over here? Not on the side angle. Do you mind? Just go right over here to your friends. Okay.
Sir, this is an executive order realigning the United States refugee admission program to better align with American principles and American interests. Sir, this next executive order is about protecting America from foreign terrorists and other national security and public safety threats. Again, crisis at the border, but it goes beyond that. It implicates other executive powers as well.
President Trump, if cartels are now seen as foreign terror organizations, would you think about ordering U.S. Special Forces into Mexico to take them out?
Could happen. Stranger things have happened.
Mr. President,
That was actually
that Maduro would accept Venezuelans.
Say it?
How will you make sure that Maduro would accept Venezuela?
Well, we're going to see Venezuela. We're looking at Venezuela very strongly. It's a country I know very well for a lot of reasons, and it's it was a great country 20 years ago, and now it's a mess.
Sir, can we expect ICE raids starting tomorrow in major cities?
What does that mean?
Can we expect ICE raids in major cities?
I don't want to say when, but it's going to happen. It has to happen. But we're not.
Yeah, I'm glad he's not going to say when. You're trying to get him to say exactly when. Yeah, don't tell them when they coming. Let them be like a thief in the night. Element of surprise, so they don't know nothing. Just know that they could come near you at any moment. Someone says there's a lot of them working at my job, taking my hours. Dom Finesse says, wow, I'm sorry to hear that. They are terrorizing my finances. I'm sorry to hear that. Tell on all of them, Lord Makes a Way says. Thank God for President Trump. Let's put our own people first. Exactly. Taking jobs from American citizens, Lord Makes a Way says. Yes, they have been. That was the biggest threat to the lower class people is these illegals coming in, whether they're legal or not. Set up to come in like they were set up by Biden was just really bad. It was not a good thing to do. And we were basically being replaced right in front of our faces. That's the best way I could explain it. And Trump has reversed it. And I am in support of my president reversing the most ridiculous things that have happened, allowing people to just come in like they were.
We have a country now.
This is actually an executive order designating the cartels and other organizations to be foreign terrorist organizations.
That's a big one.
Yes, sir.
People have wanted to do this for years. So they are now designated as terrorist organizations, foreign. And Mexico probably doesn't want that. But we have to do what's right. They're killing our people. They're killing 250,000, 300,000 American people a year. Not 100, like has been reported for 15 years. It's probably 300,000.
This is an executive.
Mexico doesn't want that. How are you going to deal with this?
I don't know. You'll have to ask them.
Sir, this is an executive order entitled Protecting the American People Against Invasion, which again deals with the southern border and the unprecedented admission of illegal aliens across the southern border.
How do you see the biggest national security threat to the U.S., Mr. President? What's going to be your priority on foreign policy?
Say,
What's going to be your priority on foreign policy? What do you see as the biggest
foreign
national
policy is a big statement. I mean, my priority on foreign policy is going to be to keep America safe. Very simple. It's a big question, though. That's a very big question.
Who is going to be the first foreign leader that you plan to meet, or who are you going to call tomorrow to your first meeting?
I've already been meeting people. I've been meeting them. I've been talking to them. I met with Prime Minister Trudeau, like all Governor Trudeau. I met with numerous foreign leaders. Go ahead.
Sir, this next order relates to the definition of birthright citizenship under the 14th Amendment of the United States.
That's a good one. Birthright. That's a big one.
What about that one? That one is likely.
Could be. I think we have good ground, but you could be right. I mean, you'll find out. It's ridiculous. We're the only country in the world that does this with birthright, as you know. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. But, we'll see. We have very good grounds.
Sir,
people have wanted to do this for decades.
Sir, this is a proclamation declaring a national emergency at the southern border of the United States.
That's a big one. A lot of big ones, huh? You know what that means, huh?
President Trump, did President Biden leave you a letter?
He may have. What? Don't they leave it on the desk? I don't know. Oh.
What's it?
Thank you, Peter. It could have been years before we got this. Wow. Thank you.
Can you read that on the outside?
Maybe we should all read it together. Well, maybe I'll read it first and then make that determination.
Great.
Peter, thank you very much. I may not have seen this for months.
Happy to help with the passing of the torch.
I did. I left him one in the desk just like this.
What are you talking about?
Unification of our country. I didn't know that he gave a pardon to his family because he did it during my speech.
He didn't tell you
No, he didn't tell me. No. He did it. They released it during my speech. During my speech. So,
Biden gave a pardon to his family while he was giving his speech. Biden, I want to talk about him too, about all the different pardons that he did. Remind me before I get off of here to show that, because I do have a video talking about that. But yeah, Biden went rogue and he pardoned a lot of different people. He preemptively pardon certain people just in case. I think Dr. Fauci was pardoned and a couple of other crazy individuals, Democrats, were pardoned, I'm pretty sure. Biden got a lot of explaining to do, but he went out with a bang.
What I could do is say, excuse me, I'd like to come back and speak some more. So, no, we were saying right about that. It's bad precedent, obviously.
What are you thinking on tariffs on Mexico, given these actions you're signing on the border?
Well, we're thinking in terms of 25% on Mexico and Canada because they're allowing vast numbers of people. Canada's a very bad abuser also. Vast numbers of people to come in and fentanyl to come in.
When do you think you would enact those?
I think February 1st.
Are you signing a meeting notice of that?
I think we'll do it February 1st.
25% of both, sir.
Sir,
On each.
this is an executive order taking a large number.
G says we will still come there. I heard that, G. Well, if you get picked up and returned back where you come from, don't say you weren't warned. Don't say that. Nick says, I have a neighbor who works for the Border Patrol. He says the worst is the children coming across alone. Dems and people in San Diego in general are absolutely in the side of Trump when it comes to immigration. Exactly. Please hit the like. By bang, you mean his head hitting the trash can as Trump tosses out the trash. Okay.
Of executive actions to secure our southern border.
Okay. Sounds reasonable.
President Trump, we remember 4 years ago, Barack Obama had told you that the top of the country was going to be North Korea. Did Joe Biden tell you what he thinks the top of the rest of the country is? No. Why not?
I think we have a lot of them. Right now, I think we have a lot. I think North Korea turned out to be good. I was very friendly with him. He liked me. I liked him. We got along very well. They thought that was a tremendous threat. Now, he is a nuclear power, but we got along. I think you'll be happy to see him coming back.
And
I think he has tremendous condo capability. He's got a lot of shoreline.
Are going to work with countries from South America to coordinate on immigration?
About who?
About immigration in general.
This is an executive order. Sorry, sir.
I'm fine with legal immigration. I like it. We need people, and I'm absolutely fine with it. We want to have it. We need it because we're going to have a lot of companies coming in to avoid tariffs. You know, if you don't want tariffs, all you have to do is build your plant in the U.S. So we're going to have a lot of workers coming in, but we have to have legal immigration.
Do you have a date in mind for when you want to put in on the China tariffs?
Which one?
60%?
You're talking about which? Say it again.
The China tariffs, the broad
China?
tariffs.
Well, as you know, I put on large tariffs on China, and they've really been forced to leave them. And if we didn't leave them, you wouldn't have one steel mill that's open in this country because they were dumping massive amounts of steel. We've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars from China because they were unable to terminate the tariffs I put on China because it was too much money and the budgets didn't work and other reasons too. No, I mean, we're going to have meetings and calls with President Xi. I spoke to President Xi last week, as you know. Did you know that? I had a very good phone call.
Did you come with NATO at this moment? Are you planning to meet your NATO allies?
No, NATO has to pay more money. NATO has to pay 5%. We are, we're in the Ukraine war by $200 billion more than NATO. It's ridiculous because it affects them a lot more. We have an ocean in between. And we've spent $200 billion more on Ukraine than NATO has spent. And they've got to equalize.
Did you talk to Xi about the Ukraine war?
Yeah.
Because China and Brazil together has a proposal to bring Russia and Ukraine to talk.
That's good. I'm ready.
When are you going to talk with the Brazilian
How did
president?
Brazil get involved? This is a new one.
When are you going to talk to Lula?
Are you from Brazil?
From Brazil.
Ah,
When are you talking?
that's why they're involved, I guess.
When are you going to talk with the Brazilian president? How do you see your relationship with Latin America and Brazil?
Great. Should be great. They need us much more than we need them. We don't need them. They need us. Everybody needs us.
Damn. He said everyone needs us. I heard that. He said they need us more than we need them. I heard that. That's my president right there. He is not playing. My goodness. He is not playing.
What is it? Define that.
Well, you're asking, you pledged in the campaign potentially a 10% tariff on China or as much as
Because of fentanyl.
Right. So I'm asking where
That's only because of fentanyl. There are other things too.
are additional.
And a very big thing is the Panama Canal. China controls the Panama Canal. What's that all about? They're not supposed to be good. When Jimmy Carter gave it, which was a terrible mistake, he didn't do it. He didn't give it to China. He gave it to Panama. And China controls the Panama Canal. And we're not going to allow that to happen.
Are they still on the table or is that on?
We're not going to allow that to happen.
Thank you, sir.
What can we expect of the countries in NATO that spend the least amount of money, like Spain, France, below the 5%?
Spain is very low. And yet, are they a BRICS nation?
What?
They're a BRICS nation, Spain. You know what a BRICS nation is? You'll figure it out. But, and if the BRICS nations want to do that, that's okay, but we're going to put at least a 100% tariff on the business they do with the United States. You know what the BRICS is, right? You guys know.
Brazil,
You know what I'm saying, right? You know what I'm saying. So it's not even a threat. In fact, since I made that statement, Biden said, well, they have us over a barrel. I said, no, we have them over a barrel. And there's no way they're going to be able to do that.
This is an executive order relating to
those countries, like Spain.
As a BRICS nation, yes. They'll have 100% tariff if they so much as even think about doing what they thought.
Can you explain how?
And therefore they'll give it up immediately. So will China give it up.
So this is about reforming the system of hiring in the federal government to ensure that merit is the lodestar of hiring decisions.
As per the Supreme Court.
Other matters. Yes, sir.
Mr. President, it's a big deal. Merit. Our country is going to be based on merit again. Can you believe it?
Mr. President, you considered the Russia-Ukraine war at first day on. Where do things stand right now, and how do you prepare?
Well, there's only half a day. I have another half a day left. We'll see. We want to get it done.
This is an order creating and implementing the Department of Governmental Efficiency, known as DOGE.
Okay, that's a big one.
Is Elon Musk going to get a West Wing office?
No, he's getting an office for about 20 people that we're hiring to make sure that these get implemented. We have a problem in this country. You sign an executive order, it doesn't get done for 6 months. As an example, when we allow the J6 hostages to go out, it might not be approved under the old days for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 months. You know, they had a good ruling from the Supreme Court, and it's like nothing happened. That ruling was 6 months ago, you know that. And it was like they didn't have a ruling. They've been treated very unfair. The judges have been absolutely brutal. The prosecutors have been brutal. Nobody's ever treated people in this country like that.
Mr. President, are you commuting the sentences of anyone who assaulted a police officer on January 6th?
Well, we're looking at 2 police officers, actually, the Washington police officers who went after an illegal, and things happened, and they ended up putting them in jail. They got 5-year jail sentences. You know the case. And we're looking at that in order to give them we got to give them a break.
But is there clemency in your actions today for anyone?
Well, would be a part. That would be a part. The one I'm talking about would be a part.
Should there be punishment for the people who assaulted law enforcement officers that day?
Well, I will say this. They've been in jail for a long time already. I see murderers in this country get 2 years, 1 year, and maybe no time. So they've already been in jail for a long time. These people have been destroyed. What they've done to these people is outrageous. There's rarely been anything like it in the history of our country. And even people that were aggressive, and in many cases I believe they happen to be outside agitators. But, what do I know? Right? But I think they were outside agitators. There were outside agitators involved. And obviously the FBI was involved because Ray admitted the FBI was involved. Didn't he say 23 people indirectly or directly were involved? And it was then 26. That's a lot of people. Now we got to take care of this. These people have been treated so badly. It's never happened before. What happened in Seattle where they took over a big...
I think he is really about people being loyal to him. He's showing loyalty back. It's very plain and simple how Trump maneuvers, you know, regardless of how we feel about January 6th, was it? Or was it, you know, when that happened? He's going to give them a break because they were loyal to him. They had blind faith in him, and he wants to show his support back. It might be odd, but this is the way it looks. So how do y'all feel about it? Should he relieve the people, pardon the people that did the January 6th riot? Do y'all feel it's justified? I understand his point of view.
Of the city. What happened in Portland where they burn down the city every day and people die? Nothing happened to anybody. But they go after these people violently. I mean, they're still going after brand new people. They found somebody else with a picture. There's never been anything like this. And you know, it's almost 100%. Think of this, almost 100% of the people are convicted. 100%. It's Washington, D.C. People go into a trial and they say, oh, I have a wonderful lawyer and I didn't do anything wrong. And they end up in shackles almost immediately and jail. No, we're not going to let it happen.
About Greenland, we have some interest in buying it, but is there any other option that would satisfy you?
About what?
Greenland, instead of buying it.
Finland?
Greenland.
Oh, Greenland. Greenland is a wonderful place. We need it for international security. And I'm sure that Denmark will come along. I think it's costing them a lot of money to maintain it.
He said, come along.
The people
Wow. Trump is ballsy. He said the people of Denmark will come along. I don't know about that, but he is definitely putting his weight out there. He's like definitely holding his own. He's not fearful, that's for sure. You got to give it to him. He goes for what he believes in. And he says if he says he can achieve it, maybe he will. Maybe he will.
Finland are not happy with Denmark, you know. I think they're happy with us. We had representatives, my son had representatives, went up there 2 weeks ago, and they like us. So we'll see what happens. But Greenland is necessary, not for us, it's necessary for international security. You have Russian boats all over the place, you have China boats all over the place, warships, and they can't maintain it.
It's not going to be talking like Putin.
Who?
It's not to meet President Putin, sir.
I'll be meeting with President Putin.
When do you think?
I don't know, I can't speak.
You know what your first trip was that might be, sir?
So the first foreign trip typically has been with UK, but I did it with Saudi Arabia last time because they agreed to buy $450 billion worth of our product. I said, I'll do it, but you have to buy American product, and they agreed to do that. They bought $450 billion. It was the least reported story I've ever been involved in.
And now, where are you going to go now?
Well, I don't know. If Saudi Arabia wanted to buy another 450 or 500, we'll up it for all the inflation.
Mr. President, you say you were going to end the war first day. How do you plan to end the Ukraine war?
Well, we're going to try and get it done as quickly as possible.
Do you want to push Israel and Saudi
It should have
Arabia?
never started. You know, the war with Ukraine and Russia should have never started. It would have never started if I were president.
Will you push Israel and Saudi Arabia to normalize relations?
I don't think you have to push them. I think it's going to happen, but maybe not quite yet. But they'll end up being in the Accords, the Abraham Accords.
President Trump,
I think Saudi Arabia will end up being in the Abraham Accords.
this year.
Could be, but soon. Not in a very long way. Oh, look at that. It says TikTok. My, what is that all about?
First, we have Alaska, sir. This is an executive order relating to unleashing Alaska's potential as an energy reservoir for the entire nation.
And what about Anwar?
I believe it would be included in aspects of the
So
order.
we're opening up Anwar.
On the TikTok piece, President Trump, in your members of your
Let me see what you guys are saying before I continue. I know that this might not be what you guys expect, but I'm very intrigued by what he is signing and what he's saying. He's saying an awful lot. You said, okay, thanks for coming by, Pinky. Take care. Thanks for stopping through. You said, do we have rights in their countries? Hell no, exactly. We don't have rights to get nowhere. People are selling us birth citizenships all over the place, and we ain't got no rights. Look at her. Lord Makes a Way says, shame on her. What access? We need a hotline, Trump, so we can call and report illegals near us. Dom Finesse says, I heard that. It's the same ICE hotline number. $750 per person. Wow. Dom Finesse says, come in right away, learn English. Wait, I can make $750 giving up an illegal? And then you give the number 866-347-2423. Wow. They have a hotline, 866-347-2423. Are you serious, Lord Makes a Way? Make a list, Dawn. There's a lot of them working at my job, taking my hours. They are terrorizing my finances. Okay, I read that. They were taking all the delivery jobs from Americans. Laura Mixaway says, yeah, they were definitely competing with Americans, like out the gate. That's not a benefit to us. Who wants to have competition brought in like that? That was ridiculous. So his whole family, Fauci and Liz Cheney, has been pardoned by Biden. And I'm glad you reminded me because I want to showcase a video about Joe Biden partying the people that he did, which he's a mess. Hold on, let me get to that. Please hit the like, you guys. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm learning as I go with y'all. I'm learning as I go. So this is Biden. Just proved to be America last. Senator rips apart preemptive pardons. This comes from Fox Business.
Once again, the breaking news we are following for you this morning with just hours to go in his term. President Biden issuing pardons, or pre-pardons, I guess you could say, for General Mark Milley, Dr. Anthony Fauci, and all Congress members and staff who served on the January 6th Select Committee. That includes witnesses who also testified against President Trump. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill reacting. Senator Eric Schmidt saying the guy who claimed he would protect norms continues to bulldoze them and the Constitution until the bitter end. Biden truly is one of the worst presidents in American history and will only be remembered as the guy between Trump's two terms. Joining me now is Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn. She's a member of the Senate Judiciary, Commerce, Small Business, Health, Joint Economic, Finance, and Veterans Affairs Committee. Senator Blackburn, it is wonderful to have you. Your reaction to this breaking news.
Oh, Cheryl, they know that they did things that were unlawful and certainly unethical. And President Biden knows this. So as information comes out, he wants to be able to say that he gave them a pardon. And it is basically for them to be held unaccountable for what they did with the committee, with COVID. And I'm not surprised by this at all. This is a president who has worked overtime, trying to make illegal legal, so it would suit his agenda, which is America last.
But, Senator, I don't think I personally, we're looking into this. I've never seen this happen before, this quote unquote pre-pardon, if you will. Is this constitutional?
I'm sure there will be discussion about that. The president has the right to issue pardons. And indeed, as you're saying, no one has ever issued preemptive pardons. But he did that with Hunter. He has done that now with people that testified against President Trump. Here's what Joe Biden is missing. On November 5th, the American people sent a message that they wanted to see action. They wanted change. They want the border secure. They want inflation dealt with. They want the economy to be strong. They want us to return to our standing in the world. That is what Donald Trump is going to deliver. And I am so looking forward to his being sworn in today, to this ceremony, and seeing him move forward on the agenda for the American people.
All right, Senator. Well, certainly there's a long day ahead and a lot of celebrations and pomp and circumstance. And then, of course, later today, the Senate gets back to work because you're going to be back in business. And it sounds like one of the first things you're going to be looking at is the confirmation of Senator Marco Rubio.
Yes, indeed. We are looking forward to that. We are still working to reach an agreement on time and being able to confirm Senator Rubio, John Ratliff, pushing Kristi Noem forward. Getting these confirmations done today is important, and you're going to see us every single day starting the confirmations and pushing them across the finish line so that President Trump has his cabinet in place so we can move forward with the American people's agenda.
All right. Well, and no rest for the weary. And
I heard that. So Biden pardoning Dr. Fauci and other people, family and other senators and people involved in the riot, this January 6th riot. Very interesting to preemptive pardon people. Biden won't be missed. That's all I got to say. He will not be missed. You said, Don, Finesse says, I'm excited for America. NGL, I hated Trump, but his actions in his first 4 years changed my perspective of him. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. Nick says, I just wanted to thank everyone here for being civil to me. I do have differing opinions, but there's plenty we do agree on. Immigration is one. The tariffs will damage regular people in the United States. You think so, Nick? See, I don't know about tariffs, so I don't know what to think, but I'm going to just wait and hold my horses before I just start freaking out because I don't really understand them. But thank you for your participation in the comment section, and thank you for liking the channel if you have, subscribing. Maybe you'll come back another time. I greatly appreciate you coming through. Laura Makes It Way says, I always liked him. I knew he would handle America well. Nick says, Queen, you do a great job mediating your live stream. Okay. Love this stream. Subscribe. Thank you. We will be fine. Laura Makes a Way says, Donald Trump is a very charismatic person and seems he would be an easy person to talk to. He definitely seems like so, but the thing I'm kind of worried about is his accessibility to a lot of people. He got to be careful because a lot of people are not liking anything that he's saying, anything that he's doing. And I don't want people to have all this access to him. They're asking him specific questions about when you're going to go to a foreign country. Like, why you want to know so soon? What are you trying to imply? Taking all these chances that Trump's going to be taking. I don't think he should. I think he should stick around America a little bit. Dom Finesse says, facts pay us for protection. Exactly. Thank you, Dawn. No problem, Nick. Okay. And Nick says, I have a chicken eye on Trump. Lots of doubt that he will do good. I want to be 1,000% wrong. I hope you are, Nick, because I don't want to be a fool for nobody. I'm not the type of person that's going to ride with him if he's going to be doing all kinds of foul things and things of that nature. But what he has laid out throughout his campaign, he was very upfront with all of us. He said, this is the areas that I'm going to be targeting. These are the people that needs to go, and here's the reasons why. And he laid out pretty much everything line by line what it is. So there shouldn't be no confusion or more fear than overwhelmed fear. I mean, I guess you can have a little fear because you don't know yet, but not to have this extreme fear, at least, like kind of balance it, because he kind of like try to work it out in front of us. So that's why I'm going to give him an opportunity to see what he does before I just jump on him. Harry says, God bless Donald Trump. Exactly. All wars started under Biden Harris. Exactly. I do like the idea of him getting rid of Putin. If he can pull off reducing Russia, then I'd probably be with the GOP. But as it stands, things feel shaky on a global level. Yeah, I don't trust having a lot of dealings with a lot of foreign countries right now for him. I think that he needs to stay home and do what he can from America. Like, he shouldn't put himself in harm's way because there's a lot of nutty bars just all over the place. He can't be risking himself like that. Precious Diamond says, ridiculous. You will cause so much trouble that threats won't work. Stop. What are you talking about? Who are you talking to? Okay, Precious. Darla says he is and will be an amazing job. Thank you, Mr. President. There you go, Darla. I'm glad you have faith in him too. What's Dashi going to do with the Republican press speaker? Bye-bye. Herbio, I don't know. No, a criminal is a criminal, Golden Brown says. How you doing, Golden Brown? Yes, free the prisoners. Let those people go, Laura Makes a Way says. Yes, free the prisoners, Herbert says. Golden Brown says, why would power be afraid? The only thing power is afraid of is losing power. Okay. The clowns left yesterday. Laura Makes a Way says. Walt says, but he will get done. Or do you mean get it done? That's my president, so don't worry about it. Okay. How you doing, Miss D? Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. Trump, Trump, Trump. Yes, Trump. The clowns are gone. Yes, the main number. That was the main number. Okay. Crime pays in Trump's America, Dean says. He's going to try to eradicate some of those crimes, though. Joe pardoned over 6,000 or 8,000 people, Vicky says. Wow. 8,000. Ooh-wee. I'm not American. What is CBP? That was some type of app that was used to get some type of appointment for immigrants to come over here and get, I guess, jobs or come over. But it's probably used for a lot of other things because the people weren't known. These people come from other places. You don't know who they are. Just because they claim they want to come over here for a reason doesn't mean they're necessarily just coming over here for that reason. So on a lot of different levels, he had to just stop immigration coming in right now. Kimberly says, Rubio is not qualified either. Are there any qualified so far? Nope. Rubio, you don't like him? I thought he was a decent guy. I don't know. Interdimensional sex reptile. What? Well, you got a strange name there. Oh, no, wait. When you land on this live, it says Trump NCPB or illegals. Is it like benefits? It's an app to allow them to... Let me play another video because I can't really say it as well. It's not something that I was up on. I just got the latest on what was being stopped. So to tell you the truth, I'm not really up on everything pertaining to this app. I just know that it is an app and that it was ended. So let me just play real quick for y'all that came in here late. Thank you for asking again. It's okay. I can play it again. So this give you more information about it.
Investigative correspondent Pat Terpstra. Of course, one of the major issues of the 2024 campaign was immigration. We've already seen the Trump administration signal what they plan to do on what is now day one. What can you tell us about their agenda?
Well, we heard that Trump today during his inaugural address talking about 10 different executive orders that he is going to sign today. But actually, when it comes to immigration, the thing making the most news at the moment seems to be the CBP-1 app being taken offline. And this is an app that DHS, Customs and Border Patrol had to schedule for anybody that was seeking an immigration or asylum appointment in the U.S. They could go to this app, and hundreds of thousands of people did. That app went offline as of noon Eastern time today, just as the new president was sworn in. And anybody that had an appointment on that app, that appointment was canceled. So we're seeing some images down in Mexico of people that had been waiting weeks and weeks, even months in some cases, for those appointments, just now finding out that those appointments have been canceled. In addition to the developments with that app, of those 10 executive orders, the one that is perhaps the biggest is the declaration of a national emergency with respect to immigration. President Trump saying that one of the orders will allow him to increase the military presence at the southwest border and resume construction of the U.S.-Mexico border wall, something that President Biden has suspended. Also, new asylum restrictions and ending something known as birthright citizenship. This is guaranteed under the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, but Trump says he will seek to make it so that children of immigrants who are unauthorized, they are not U.S. citizens, even if those children are born in the U.S. But this is something that is certainly going to be challenged by immigration advocacy groups, perhaps the ACLU, just as they did during the first Trump term, Andrew. So a lot of this is going to be playing out in the days and weeks ahead.
Yeah, we were just joined by an immigration lawyer who pointed that out. They said that is probably the number one target for legal action, and it's going to play out in the courts. The other thing she said, which was interesting, is some of these actions require funding, and Congress isn't going to approve things overnight, at least not in her opinion. Any idea of how this could actually play out? A lot of this stuff actually needs money to happen, right?
It does, but the declaration of national emergency means that the executive branch can actually use some of their authority to move some money around. We saw that in the first Trump term when some of the huge amounts of money that the Pentagon gets, the Trump administration was able to send some of that to the border. Perhaps we will see that again. But also important to point out, the Republicans do now have control of the Senate and the House. So you have to imagine that if now President Trump picks up the phone and says, I need more money for X, Y, and Z at the border, that's likely to happen.
All right. I know you'll be watching it for us throughout the afternoon, days, weeks ahead. Patrick Terpstra, our investigative reporter. Thank you so much, Patrick.
Okay, so that's what that is. KISS, K-I-S-S, the tariffs are a way of collecting tax money from foreign governments. This way, we, the people, can be relieved from paying all the taxes to support our government. It helps us. It doesn't hurt. Okay, see, that's another point of view. I don't know. Like I said, this is the first time I ever really heard the word tariffs during the campaign trail. I don't know enough to say one way or the other, but I'm taking in what you guys are telling me. I hear more people saying that it's a negative than a positive, though, to be honest with you, KISS. If I had to weigh out how many times I've heard negativity about tariffs, I've heard a lot more negativity about it, not positivity. Dave Trump is a New Yorker. He knows the deal. Laura Makes Away says, Boogie Ray says, I agree. KISS, though, I sure cost of goods will go up, Boogie Ray says. Thank you for coming back again, Boogie Ray. You said he signed a EO to be upholding the First Amendment rights of the people in the United States of America as well. So it should be good to see less getting taken down from YouTube and other places. Okay. Oh, you talking about the First Amendment, the right to speak and censorship, you mean? Okay. Laura Makes Away says CBP 1 gave illegal aliens social security numbers and work permits. Okay. Remember that if you make 30K, you are part of the global 1%, Boogie Ray says. Tariffs are on the commodity and goods. Okay. Golden Brown says the American birth certificate gives you no benefits. Only your social security card gives you a benefit. All right. It gives you the benefit of entering the United States, Lord Makes Away says. Dang, there goes all the cheap tacos. Okay. How so if this is your nation, Golden Brown says. I'm not quite sure what you mean. Dr. Muscle, actually, there are Mexican Americans that make some fire tacos. Exactly. There are plenty of Mexicans still going to be here. That came here legally. Not everybody's going to be under threat. Like people assume the people that are legally here all going to be deported. No, that's not going to happen. He's targeting certain people for the reasons in which he describes to y'all. So that's all I can say. I just bring the news to you, let you see what he says. Do I have an explanation or understanding on everything to the gravity of what it is? Not necessarily, but I think his intentions are good to be American first, though, overall. And he's putting his best foot forward and trying to handle this. Do you have a passport? I don't. Nope, sure don't. Boogie Ray says, Golden Brown, not true. The birth certificate says you have citizenship before 1/20/2025. The SS card says you are going to be paying for the benefits you are entitled to later in life. Vicky says, if the patients are illegal, then so are their children, no matter if they were born in our country. That's what Trump's saying. Facts on Mexican American grandparents paid their way to become citizens. Paid. That's right. They came here the way that it's designed or set up for it to be, whatever way that is legally. I don't know the process of what it takes or anything like that. They are refusing to let the J6 people out. The U.S. Marshals are headed up there. Are you serious? Hold on. Let me find. Thank you for letting me know that. Hold on. That's crazy. They're not letting them out. Who said so? Okay, I'm going to try to look up a video and see if one comes out. The J6 not allowed out. Out of jail. Okay. I don't see anything on it yet. Okay. Okay, let me see. I'm going to play this. Hold on.
That President Trump issued for those January 6th people who were convicted. CBS News Homeland Security correspondent Nicole Skanga was at the Capitol that day, saw the actions of those insurrectionists. Trump now calls them hostages. Many went to jail over this. Many pled guilty. So the big question, how does this work and when will they be released?
Yeah, some have already been released, Reed. Just last night, two brothers convicted in connection to that Capitol attack became really the first of the rioters to be freed. Andrew and Matthew Valentine, they're from Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, and they were released from the D.C. jail. There was a big crowd outside. We had a CBS News team on the ground. Both had previously pled guilty to 2 counts each of assaulting police, and Andrew's plea included, 1 count of assaulting police with a dangerous weapon. He had allegedly struck an officer with a thrown folding chair, and he was, convicted and sentenced to jail time. The Trump administration officials actually made the announcement outside of the D.C. jail last night, adding that Elon Musk, the, ex and, tech billionaire, was the quote-unquote mastermind behind their sort of sudden freedom. Trump also, though, commuted the sentences for 14 other defendants, and that includes Stuart Rhodes. He was the former leader of the Oath Keepers militia. He had received the second longest sentence for his role in the riot, a whopping 18 years. And Rhodes actually left a federal prison in Cumberland, Maryland early this morning. As for the future releases, they're ongoing, and we expect even more today. Trump ordered his attorney general, currently acting attorney general, to make sure that those who are currently held in prison are, quote, released immediately. And also, by the way, to dismiss all of those pending indictments, too.
Wow. What are you hearing on Capitol Hill from lawmakers here, especially through the lens of precedent?
Yeah, well, with the stroke of a pen, the legal consequences, the largest criminal probe in American history virtually undone. You mentioned that the sweeping pardon includes those who assaulted police officers, those who were convicted of really a historic crime of seditious conspiracy, which, to remind our viewers, means that 2 or more people literally conspired to overthrow the federal government by force. We've seen some criticism by Republicans, Senator Tom Tillis speaking out this morning. Others have really shifted their view on this when asked about the pardon. Senate Majority Leader John Thune today pointing the finger back at former President Joe Biden, stating that the former president opened the floodgates by pardoning his own son, Hunter. But we should also point out in this all read that this is not what Trump administration officials, transition officials, had signaled. In fact, just a week ago, then Vice President-elect J.D. Vance said that Trump, quote, obviously would not pardon those who committed violence. Last week, Trump's pick for Attorney General Pam Bondi, while testifying on the Hill, said that while she wasn't going to speak for the president, he, quote, does not like people who abuse police officers either. Obviously, this blanket pardon stands in direct contradiction to that.
We also know that you have some fresh reporting on the killing of a border agent yesterday. Where did it happen? What's the news there, Nicole?
Yeah, a U.S. Border Patrol agent fatally shot yesterday on a highway in northern Vermont, south of the Canadian border, authorities confirmed to us, and that death was confirmed by not only the FBI, but the acting Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, Benjamin Huffman, in Washington, really just moments after he, assumed that position. And in a statement, the FBI said that in addition to that agent, there was a suspect in the shooting who was also killed, and a second suspect.
I told you agents had a dangerous job, and so they're going to have to be very careful because of the desperation of a lot of people. Them not wanting to not adhere to not coming, them still wanting to come no matter what. They'll risk it all. So rest in peace to that agent that unnecessarily passed or was unalived by somebody. Obviously, they didn't catch the person. At least they haven't said yet.
Who was wounded and then later taken into custody. And that encounter happened along Interstate I-91 in Coventry, about 20 miles from the Canadian border. The FBI said there was no ongoing threat there, so some relief for the public. But they have launched an investigation, as they do, into any law enforcement death. So has the Department of Homeland Security, and so we await further details on that, Reed.
Nicole Skanga, thank you so much for your live report and streaming with us from our nation's capital. We know it's been a busy week for you and will likely continue to be a busy week.
So far, there are some people that have been relieved, but you said in the chat that the U.S. Marshals are headed up there. Up where? Laura makes a way. They are big mad. What do you mean? You're back, Pinky? Okay. Thank you for coming back. Golden Brown, not if you don't pay any taxes, they take your house and sell it, Boogie Ray says. If you hit the video it will cut off here. Oh, if you hit, okay. Well, then you have to wait till it's over, I guess. Howard says there is a live at the J6 release site. Word is the sellers are being defiant and slow. Huh. Wow, thank you for that information. The sellers are being defiant and slow? Or are you meaning sellers? Boogie Ray, do you understand what I'm talking about? Golden Brown says. Don Finesse, there's also some Blaxicans that make some fire tacos out here. Should have said parents, Vicky Payne says. I'm not sure what you mean. Dom Finesse says, let's be real. Color doesn't matter. Some people just know how to cook. Cumberland, Laura Makes a Way says, Cumberland. Is that a place? You are right, Pinky. Don Finesse says. Aaron says, why does it seem that Trump can't do no good It's absolutely ridiculous. Trump is the best thing to ever happen to this country. For those who don't like America, feel free to leave. Well, that's what I say. That's what I say. Let our January 6th people be free. Vicky says, do you believe in setting criminals free from justice? Golden Brown asks. Vicky. Go to the Daily Wire. Okay, let me see. Hold on. I got to wrap up this video pretty soon, but I will look at this real quick. Daily Wire. Is this supposed to be a video that just came out? Like how long ago? Hold on. I don't know which video you're referencing to. I don't know. All right. Free the J6 hostages now. I just put it down. I don't see what you're talking about. You're saying make it one word. Okay, jailers. Okay, jailers. All right, the jailers won't let them out? Wow. That's crazy. They can't do that against the president. I don't look at them as criminal, but a lot of people like that Joe Parton are. They are hostages, not criminals, Lord Makes a Way says. You must be one of those double standard Christians. Okay, you guys. I can't find what you're talking about, Lord Makes a Way, but it's getting kind of late on here anyways, so I'm going to conclude this video for today. Let's close up by saying that I appreciate everybody for coming out, for listening, for watching, for hearing, for commenting, for hitting the like button or sharing or whatever the heck you have done. I appreciate all of you. Trump, again, this is his very first day as the president of the United States. And yes, he is my president. And I want to give him an opportunity, like I said, to do what he needs to do. It's going to take a little time. We got to be a little bit patient and see what he does. But, you know, trying to relieve the J6 rioters and them not wanting to let them go, I'm pretty sure for some, that might be an issue. You said the jailers. Okay. We got to see what's going to happen. But I'll follow up on that story if it's made public. I mean, if it's made mention on the media outlets, I will be looking for the story to see more information about it. I intend to come back tomorrow. I don't know what time exactly, but I will be back for another whole live. But part of the live, I'm going to have another topic because I know that if I just talk about politics solely, it does get kind of redundant. So I might just bring in another topic, the other half of the video, just to make it more interesting to the people that have subscribed to me the longest. And of course, we'll talk about other things that interest us. But of course, I'm going to keep up on Trump first and any other news that's pertinent to talk about. So please stay tuned for my video tomorrow. If you have not yet, please like and share the video. Let me look real quick to see if you guys said anything. They will shoot you dead if you try to leave, Golden Brown says. Okay, the jailers are law enforcement. If I was one, none of them would leave on foot. Huh. They will shoot you dead if you try to leave. All right. The jailers. I don't know. I'm still looking into it, Pinky. Jailers supposedly not letting some out of the J6 rioters, not out of jail, supposedly, according to Laura Makes a Way. I don't know, though. I don't have confirmation yet. But I will look into it a little bit later. And tomorrow, if it does come up, I will talk about it tomorrow, as with other news that I want to bring up as well, and do another topic outside of talking about Trump. Because I don't want to bore you guys. I know that Trump is fascinating and he's going to be very busy. Definitely, he's not going to be without content to bring up. That's for sure. So please like and share the video. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank y'all for coming through, and bless up.